906 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, TuneIn, the FM dial. You can watch us. Super Talk TV is up and running on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. If you're listening on a digital platform, you will definitely have a share button, and we appreciate you helping us grow the digital footprint of the radio station. We got a lot to get to today. Tom Homan is officially in Minnesota. Ilhan Omar got squirted on. We'll talk about that and why I think it's an absolute fake. It just feels like a staged event. And then we'll also talk about the overall fallout in Minnesota that is still a massive story. And something else happened in Minnesota yesterday with the nation of Ecuador. We'll talk about that as well. We'll also highlight why the Democrats are sick and insane. That's going to be an easy segment, make no mistake about it, but we're going to do it for you. So hang out with us. A lot to get to, a little bit of time. You're welcome to join the show any way you'd like to. 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. You can text in, you can call in, you can jump in the chats, whatever you want to do, however you feel most comfortable. Please join the show, interact. We appreciate it. Let's start with Ilhan Omar, shall we? Ilhan Omar was stunning and brave last night. Everybody was just overwhelmed with her bravery. It was a sight for sore eyes. We have never seen anything like this. She is unbelievable, and we're grateful for her strength and her resilience. I'm kidding. I think the entire thing was faked. I think that she masterminded an event where she could become the victim, gain maximum sympathy, and I think that's what we saw unfold last night. It'll take some time to figure it out, but I have my reasons for believing it. But first, let's talk about how the mainstream media is painting this. Axios. Representative Ilhan Omar was rushed by a man during a town hall Tuesday and sprayed with an unknown liquid from a syringe. The attack comes just days after Rep. Maxwell Frost, a Democrat out of Florida, was punched in the face at the Sundance Film Festival and amid a broader surge in threats and violence against lawmakers. To be fair, on the Maxwell Frost front, was he punched in the face for being a Democrat, or was he punched in the face for acting like Maxwell Frost? I haven't seen the video. I'm asking for a friend, so we'll keep going. President Trump and other conservatives have singled Omar out for years. Just hours before the attack, Trump again mocked her, claiming in an Iowa speech she wasn't proud of the United States of America. Well, yeah. Here's the thing. Have they attacked her and singled her out for years? Sure have. Has she made it easy for years? Well, yep, you marry your brother to help him gain citizenship. You talk about 9/11 and you say some people did some things, and then the overall chaos that you see in Minnesota, yes, she has been singled out. That being said, she deserves to be singled out. She's a trash representative representing a trash district that has been overrun with Somalis and transformed into the third world. I don't know how we could say it in a nice way. It's just the facts of the matter. The Guardian previously reported that Omar had the most death threats of any member of Congress. The most. Okay, maybe. In a video of the incident, a man can be seen charging towards Omar as she was calling for abolishing ICE and impeaching DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. Minneapolis police officers who were present at the event observed a man use a syringe to spray an unknown liquid onto Omar. The man, identified as 55-year-old Anthony Kazmarchek, was immediately arrested by MPD officers and booked into county jail, the spokesperson said. After being sprayed, Omar brushed off security and advisors who told her to halt the event and continued speaking for close to 30 minutes. Wow. Again, the bravery, the resilience. Was it staged? I think that's the question that we need to ask. Was this event staged? I think it was. I happen to believe that this event was 100% staged, and I think that a lot of the body language from Ilhan Omar points in that direction. If you're watching us on Super Talk TV, I got the video up on the screen for you so you can watch this unfold in real time. If you're listening on the radio, I'll break it down as best I can. I'll go full Tom Brady and I'll do a play-by-play, okay? We'll do it as best we can. This is the incident in question and how it unfolded.
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God. Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked.
No, we will continue this. We're not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. No, you don't know what he did.
Wow. So just so we're clear, the guy is sitting in the front row. He looks like an overweight soy boy. And he waits until Omar says we need to impeach Kristi Noem. At this point in the video, Omar does a quick glance up to the man and quickly looks back down. Is that a signal? Is that a signal that now is the time for you to squirt me with your mystery juice? Brave man in the front row. Is that what she's doing? After he squirts her, he begins to walk away. And Ilhan Omar squares up. The shoulders get wide. She looks like she's just been lifting weights, pumping iron. And she storms towards him defiantly. Okay. If you were sprayed with a random substance and the attacker was still in spraying range, why would you square up and run after him? Then, in the immediate aftermath of the police tackling this guy, she asks for a napkin. Can I have a napkin? Will someone get me a napkin? You have no idea what's on you. You have none, zero idea. This could be an acid attack. This could be some sort of disease. This could be bodily fluids. This could be what a lot of people on the internet thought, maybe bacon grease. You're asking for a napkin? You're saying we will continue? Let's just listen to this whole thing unfold one more time.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
There's the glance. Now she's sprayed. Then she runs after him.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked.
No, we will continue this. We're not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked.
And then in her best Donald Trump impersonation, she said, "Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes." And they said, "Ilhan, they're on your feet. You're fine." The shoes didn't come off. But she's like, this whole thing feels so staged. It feels staged on every single level. And the more you dig into it, the more staged it begins to feel. Now, after the event, again, Ilhan is not going to miss this opportunity to be a hero and just a fighter. You know, she goes on CNN and she tells them, I'm just built different.
Representative Omar, are you okay?
I'm gonna go figure if I am, but I feel okay. I feel that it is important for people, whether they are in elected office or not, to allow these people to intimidate us, to make us not fight for our constituents and for the country we love. And as I said, I've survived war, and I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me, because I'm built that way.
Thank you.
Stunning and brave, Ilhan Omar. I'm built that way.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
You can't slow me down. I've been through war. Okay, got it. Now, the guy in question, the attacker. What was his name? Polish guy? It was, what was his name? Anthony, I just had it in front of me. Anthony Kermachek? Something like that. He doesn't exactly seem to be a conservative. And I say this because the weaponized autists on the internet have done some digs. And Andy Kazmarchek, I don't know, let's take a look at his family. If you're watching us on Super Talk TV, you'll see a picture of what appears to be blue-haired kids kids with pronouns, kids that share Minnesota protesting on their Instagram story. The dad doesn't exactly look like a MAGA conservative. He looks a little bit soy boy. He's a bit overweight. He doesn't exactly seem like a strong male role model. And I just have to wonder again, was this guy a plant? When you look at the family and you look at who he's associating with, yeah, I lean back towards he was a 100% plant. I mean, we're going to see what happens with him in court, right? And I think that when he gets to court and he faces the charges, he's going to get some sort of prison time, right? Like, maybe he is that useful idiot that's going to go sit in a jail cell for Ilhan Omar. Maybe this was an authentic attack. Maybe. We still don't know what was in the syringe. We understand that the individual is going to be charged. They're saying that the agitator tried to attack the congresswoman by spraying an unknown substance from her syringe. She said, "I'm okay." On X, Ilhan Omar said, "I'm okay. I'm a survivor. So this small agitator isn't going to intimidate me from doing my work." He will be criminally charged. But I look at the pictures of this guy, and you tell me if you're watching, if you've seen the video. 615-737-9986. Does this feel staged to you? Because the more I watch this, the glance up from Ilhan Omar, the fact that she squares up and tries to run after him, none of this feels organic to me at all.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
There's a glance up.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked.
No, we will continue this. We're not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. No, you don't know what you did.
And
She doesn't know what she was sprayed with, and she's just going to keep going. Or maybe she knows exactly what she was sprayed with, and that's why she's going to keep going. You tell me what you think. The man identified as 55-year-old Anthony Kazmarchek was immediately arrested by MPD and booked into county jail, the spokesperson said. Omar then brushed off her security advisor, spoke for another 30 minutes. Stunning and brave. Or an absolute work. Could be either or. Ilhan Omar is under investigation by the DOJ. Ilhan Omar has been in a bullseye via President Trump and the administration. They don't take it easy on Ilhan Omar, and they shouldn't. I mean, she married her brother, for crying out loud. But is this a ginned up controversy to generate sympathy? Is this to make Ilhan look like a victim? I mean, these are the questions that we need to ask. Would you put it past Ilhan Omar to do that? I would not. Donald Trump was asked about it, and, well, he leaned the way that we're leaning. He said she probably had herself sprayed. She probably had herself sprayed. President Trump derided Ilhan Omar as a fraud Tuesday night before suggesting that the Democrat arranged an attack in which she was sprayed with an unknown substance by an audience member during a town hall event. He was speaking with ABC, and he said, "I don't think about her. I think she's a fraud. She probably had herself sprayed, knowing her. I haven't seen the video. No. I hope I don't have to bother." Everybody's looking at this and going, "Yeah, it doesn't pass the smell test, not one bit." A mysterious substance shot at Ilhan Omar. There's a lot of different angles of this video. If you want to join us over on the YouTube page, I'll play you the other angle, the unedited version of this during the commercial break. We'll talk about it a little bit more inside the commercial break, and then we'll talk about Donald Trump, who has been all over the country the past few days. He stopped in Iowa yesterday. This is the beginning of the 2026 midterm blitz, where they're going to be doing Trump rallies everywhere. Donald Trump made one of his first stops yesterday in Iowa. We'll talk about that on the way as well. But join us over on YouTube. I got more angles, unedited versions of this video with Ilhan Omar that you definitely need to see. It's 9:21. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Shane Ring over at Cover Nash. Health insurance made simple thanks to my friend Shane Ring. If you're tired of health insurance that feels like a math test, confusing percentages, fine print that bites back, surprise bills, enough of that. Let's make it simple. Cover Nash can do it for you. They have a brand new nationwide PPO plan that gives you the freedom to pick your own doctors anywhere in the U.S. with no referrals and no red tape. How does just a $250 deductible sound? What about a flat $50 copay for any doctor, even specialists? Outpatient surgeries, $250 copay. Hospital stays, just $1,000 total. Free preventative care. These plans are available for you, and you can start saving some money today. And the best part is, no surprise bills, no hidden fees, just real protection from real providers. Maybe that's not the right one for you. It might not be, but here's the thing. Shane works with 75 top-rated insurance companies, so they got something that's going to fit your budget and your needs. Whether you're underinsured, self-employed, you run a small business, talk to Shane Ring today. He has a plan for you. 615-465-0023, 615-465-0023, or find him online, covernash.com. Welcome back. We are live on the YouTube and Rumble and Facebook, Twitter, Twitch stream. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you guys being here. This is the other angle of the Ilhan Omar attack. The Fox News one that's going around, we had to play it on the air. It's edited, and I didn't feel like editing it myself, but I wanted to make sure you saw this too. This is the angle where you can't really see the guy in the front row, but you do see Ilhan square up and look like she's going to put fisticuffs on this guy. This is it in its unedited glory. Ilhan Omar.
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan.
Again, she's not freaking out. She goes to square up with the guy. This could be anything. This could be anything. If it was a real attack, you would leave immediately. You'd have that shirt off immediately. You'd be wondering what the hell it was. Like this event doesn't matter. That could have been a chemical attack. That could have seriously screwed her up. I'm glad it didn't. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, like we don't want to see our elected representatives get hurt or injured or assaulted. But when you look at this and you think about how she reacts, how can you come to any other conclusion other than it was staged? I can't. That's the other angle. There's a bunch of other angles online. You're welcome to do your own research. And maybe you disagree with me. That's cool, too. I'd love to know why. Drop it in the chat or call into the show, 615-737-9986. We're going to rejoin radio, and we'll catch you guys on the other side. Appreciate you being here.
A sledding accident lands a local meteorologist's son in the hospital. We've got that story coming up here at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. Not the newsroom. She's in her living room. Are you in the living room?
It's actually a spare room. Yeah.
That's Joan Jones in the spare room. Mason Fleming's producing. My name is Chris Hand. Joan, the roads weren't that bad today.
You don't live where I live.
I expected this kind of behavior out of myself, but not out of you.
We all expected it out of you, Chris.
All right.
We were taking bets, man.
I know. I'm sorry. Had I known that there was some side money, I could have been bought. I'm like one of those college players.
Nice.
You could have paid me off, and I would have taken the fall for you, Joan.
You would have thrown the game for me?
I would have, 100%.
Yeah, I'm down $20 now.
So we're talking about Ilhan Omar. That looks staged as all get out. We just played the unedited version of the video on the YouTube chat where she squares up, and she even raised a fist. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like little 80-pound Ilhan is going to take out the 200-pound man. Of course.
With fist raised.
Is that a wind chime?
No, it's it's my it was my Ring camera.
Oh.
Sorry.
Doorbell notification.
Oh.
Yeah.
Somebody's at the door. Make sure it's not somebody with a syringe. Mike in Nashville wants to talk about Ilhan Omar. What's up, Mike? How are you, man? Yo, Mike, what's up?
Chris?
What's up? What do you got, man?
Yeah, can you hear me? It looked like we got the weekly saga of Donald Trump and the ICE in Minnesota. Another story today, man. You know, last time I talked to you, it was about the other guy who got shot. And now, like I said, I was minding my own business last night. You know, I thought things was going to get a little bit cooler, you know, because, Homer was in town and he was, they had got Bavino out of there. And I thought everything was, so I turned my phone on last night after I took a nap. And what do I see? Good old Ilhan Omar on my screen. And some guy, she's in there clapping her mouth as usual, talking about the Trump administration. And what do you know? Somebody stands up with a syringe and shoots some type of material on her. It's like you said before, it looks like it's staged, man, because she didn't scream. Normally, first, a woman most likely would have screamed out or something.
Yep.
But she ran towards the attacker. She ran towards the attacker, not away from the attacker. If somebody is trying to attack you like that, most people are going to try to run away.
100%.
And then the attitude that she tried, then the attitude that she took was saying that, she used the profanity. We're not going to let these, F words, ruin my show. And then she gave herself away. She said, show. If you watch the whole video, when she was talking to her bodyguard, she was telling him, she said, no, we're not going to let these people run our show. I'm going to finish saying what I got to say. So she basically told you what it was. It was a show. See, what they're trying to do is now, man, they're trying to make it look like Donald Trump. Watch you see, I'm surprised they haven't started it already, that this guy was a Donald Trump supporter and that the Trump supporters are violent and that they're that her life is in danger because of the rhetoric from Donald Trump.
Yep.
And her, him saying that he wants to get rid of, get rid of these people, get these people out of Minnesota and the Somalians. So they're trying to change the whole thing around. Watch you see later on in the day, they go, like you said, that guy, he doesn't fit the description of a Trump supporter to me, because like you say, I don't even know what the hell his name is, foreign name, but he doesn't fit the description of a Trump supporter. But they're going to try to use this guy to make him out as if he is a Trump supporter and that he did it because of Trump's, rhetoric, which is total nonsense. Like I said, this woman is nothing but a phony. I don't want to see nothing bad happen to nobody. If I'm wrong, if it's something to find out that this was a true deal, I'll call you back in a couple of days and I'll apologize.
Hey, I'm in the same. And I'm on the same side, man. If it comes out, and I appreciate the call as always, Mike. If it comes out that this was a legitimate attack by an unhinged MAGA supporter, then I'll be the first to tell you. But the more you dig on this guy, the leftist kids, the pronouns in the bio, the sharing of Minnesota protests, I don't buy it one bit. Donald Trump was out and about last night. He went to Iowa. This is the beginning of him barnstorming the country.
A lot of traveling, I think so. I like traveling to places. I love this place. This was the beginning of my politics, right?
That's right.
And it treated me well right from the beginning. Mr. President.
He's going to be going city to city on a rally tour for the midterms. It started last night in Iowa. We'll bring you the highlights of that on the way. Plus, he sat down for an interview with Will Cain before he got into the Iowa campaign speech, if you will, and he was asked a lot of questions. pertaining to Minnesota, I'll bring you those on the way as well. 932 Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Warming up now. We're at 24 degrees with some scary moments for Channel 4 meteorologist Bree Smith. Her son hospitalized yesterday after a sledding accident. She posted this Facebook message while they were at the hospital, and apologies in advance for the music in the background.
He had a sledding accident yesterday and has a concussion and 2 fractured vertebrae in his spine. There was a period of time last night where they were worried it was his neck, and clearly it's not his neck. And the fractures are minor enough that he should recover, but no more sledding. He's got to take it easy.
Yeah, she said he hit a patch of ice near their home in Hendersonville just before crashing. The mother of an Antioch High School shooter, Solomon Henderson, has turned herself in now. 40-year-old Krista Thomas had been living in Las Vegas. News 2's Haley Wilgus says that police have been searching for her for a while now.
She was wanted for unlawful gun possession by a convicted felon. Police say her DNA was found on the gun that her son is accused of using to kill a classmate and wound another.
After that deadly shooting last January, the rest of the Henderson family moved from their home on Carefree Lane in Antioch to what they thought was an unknown destination. Well, here we go again. Another performer canceling his act at the Kennedy Center. Composer Philip Glass, supposed to premiere his new symphony called Symphony Number 15, which he called a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. But he said the values of the Kennedy Center are now in direct conflict with the message of his work. So the mid-June performance is now canceled. Roma Daravi is the center's vice president of public relations, telling CBS News in a statement, "We have no place for politics in the arts." That's the latest news. We've got weather ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Zero Res Nashville. We have had a couple of days of kids in and out of the house. I was ready for the snow. I was ready for the dirt. I was ready for the mud. But do you know what I wasn't ready for? Blood. Yes. Okay, so the other day, my dog is running, and you know the ice is all out there, and he cuts his paw. I didn't notice that the paw was cut until he is back in the house, just bleeding out on my carpet. It wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad. My wife looked at me. She goes, "You know who to call." I said, "Batman?" She said, "No, obviously. Zero Res." I said, "Yeah, Zero Res. I knew that. Of course I knew that." They use their exclusive ZR water. They're the Maha of carpet cleaning. No soap, no harsh chemicals, no residue. They're going to get that blood out. It's going to be great. We're not going to worry about it. And maybe you need to get some blood out of your carpets too. It's a little weird. It's a little weird, but the savings are great. The company is awesome. The reviews are through the roof. If you need to get the carpets cleaned, call Zero Res today, 615-535-9376, 615-535-9376, or book online, ZeroResNashville.com. 939 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. You can find me on Twitter, True Social, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, at Chris Hand on air. Hit the follow button. I will follow back. Dana Perino last night was talking about how she loves it when the president gets out there and gets out of D.C. and sees the people. I do too. I think he needs to get out of the bubble occasionally. And seeing people on the ground in Iowa yesterday reacting to the president, excited to have him in town. I don't know. It makes you question those poll numbers because you rarely see people upset to see the president. But Donald Trump was out and about doing his thing in Iowa. This is going to become the new normal, traveling for these rallies as we head towards the midterms. Because as we all know, historically speaking, the party not in power does a good job in the midterms. We can't have the Democrats win. I mean, if you want to know what happens when the Democrats win, just look at that moderate Abigail Spanberger in the Commonwealth of Virginia. During his stop in Iowa, President Trump sat down for a conversation with Will Cain. Will Cain's show, low-key, he's done a great job. Who did he replace? Did he replace Neil Cavuto, right?
That sounds right.
I think he replaced Cavuto, and Cavuto was one of the worst. So the bar was very low, but Will Cain has done a good job.
Easily surpassed it.
100%. And he sat down with President Trump yesterday. One of the first questions that was asked was about Alex Preddy, the armed man who was shot by ICE agents in Minneapolis, of course. The president takes the question and gives his take.
The whole thing is terrible. I don't like the fact that he was carrying a gun that was fully loaded and he had 2 magazines with him, and it's pretty unusual. But nobody knows when they saw the gun, how they saw the gun, everything else. Bottom line, it was terrible. Both of them were terrible. The other was terrible, too. And I'm not sure about his parents, but I know her parents were big Trump fans. Makes me feel bad anyway. But, I mean, I guess you could say even worse. They were tremendous Trump people, Trump fans. And, you know, the daughter was, she was, I don't know if you could say radicalized, maybe radicalized. Whole thing.
I would say deranged. I would say a leftist ideologue, lunatic. I think you could say all those things. I do. I feel bad for the kids. I feel bad for her parents. I mean, listen, people lost a loved one. That sucks. She also didn't need to weaponize her vehicle and aim it directly at an ICE agent. On the Alex Preddy front, we're learning more and more about Alex Preddy. Do you know that Alex Preddy was walking around with broken ribs? Did you know that? Yeah, Alex Preddy had broken his ribs in a confrontation with ICE agents a week before the shooting. Do you know where I learned this? It was CNN, of all places. Yesterday, Dana Bash had the story. Listen to this.
CNN is learning that Alex Preddy had a physical encounter with federal agents about a week before he was shot and killed by law enforcement. Sources tell CNN that Preddy broke a rib when a group of federal officers tackled him while he was protesting. Priscilla Alvarez is breaking that story for us. What else are you hearing, Priscilla?
Dana, we're learning more details along with my colleague Jeff Winter about what exactly transpired a week before Alex Preddy was shot in Minneapolis and died this past weekend. Now, in this earlier incident, he stopped his car after observing ICE agents chasing what he described as a family on foot and began shouting and blowing his whistle. Preddy later told one of these sources that 5 agents tackled him and 1 leaned on his back, appearing to leave him with a broken rib. According to this source, and I'm quoting here, that source said, quote, that day he thought he was going to die.
So then the next time he went to impede and obstruct ICE, he went armed? Is that what happened? I mean, Alex Preddy was another member of ICE Watch, and I don't know if you've seen the viral videos going around online, but these guys are absolutely organized and coordinated the way they're using these signal chats. It's like you're listening to a police dispatch radio in a squad car, the way you're hearing these signal chats, and they're all available online, albeit it's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little dry for the radio because they're just talking about license plates and which direction the federal agents are heading in. But I saw a video with Cam Higbee, who's been out there doing a lot of great work on the ground, putting himself in the line of fire. And it's like they're chasing Cam Higbee around, and they're like, yeah, they're confirmed federal agents. And he's like, I'm not a federal agent. I'm press. And then you get out of the car, and the leftists just mob you and scream at you and throw ice bricks at you. And they don't want to have conversations. They don't want to reason. And those same leftists are subscribed to the same ideology that Alex Preddy was subscribed to. And he found himself in between ICE and an enforcement operation. He broke a rib. And then he said, next time, it won't be like that. And he showed up next time with a firearm. He's allowed to do it. I'm not knocking his Second Amendment rights. But let's add a little more context to the situation. He brought that gun because he was anticipating violence. Not a good look. Not a good look. In the aftermath of that shooting, we've seen much change in Minnesota. Greg Bovino is out. Tom Homan is in. And Donald Trump was asked about this yesterday while he was in Iowa. And he did a fair shake for Greg Bovino. He gave him some praise. And then he also hyped up Tom Homan going into Minnesota.
And now the message is out that Tom Homan is in.
Yeah.
Commander Bovino is supposedly leaving Minneapolis along with some CBP agents. Is this a pullback?
I don't think it's a pullback. It's a little bit of a change. Everybody in this room that has a business, you make little changes. Bovino is very good, but he's a pretty out there kind of a guy. And in some cases, that's good. Maybe it wasn't good here. But you have to understand, when I watch some of the people that I've been watching over the last few weeks, these are paid insurrectionists. These are paid agitators.
He's right. And I think you could make the case that Alex Preddy, Renee Nicole Good are some of those paid agitators and insurrectionists. I mean, we need to see receipts. And I'm just speculating, to be completely fair. But they were in the weeds on those Ice Watch groups. And if you watch how those Ice Watch groups operate, it's hard to come to any other conclusion other than a well-funded group. President Trump says Bovino, it was a bit of a change-up. There are other reports that Bovino has been moved to California and that he'll be retiring soon. I hope not. I feel like Bovino's getting the short end of the stick here, and I think that he has done a decent enough job in a very, very tough situation. Tom Homan, though, he's going to do a fantastic job. He was on the ground yesterday talking with Tim Walz, talking with Mayor Jacob Frey, and President Trump is excited about his presence in Minnesota, don't you know?
The years, and he's gotten along with governors, and he gets along with mayors. Some people don't. Some people just want to do their job and leave me alone. And that's sort of okay, too. That's generally been okay. Most of them are happy. Memphis, Tennessee, very tough, very straightforward. We're taking the criminal out. We're getting him out, either putting him in jail, because some are so bad that you don't want to send them to where they came from, because you're afraid they're going to come back. They're murderers. So some are very down and straight, and others, Tom, I've noticed, as tough as he is, he gets along very good with governors and mayors. Now, I spoke to the mayor and to the governor yesterday, and they want to see it cleared up.
I'm so fascinated by your conversation with Governor Tim Walz. This man has suggested that this is a modern-day Gettysburg.
He said that we're at war with the federal government. He's called ICE Nazis and the Gestapo. On the Tom Homan front, it is going to be tough for the Democrats to push back against Tom Homan. I mean, we've all seen the picture of Obama putting a medal around his neck, Obama praising the guy. So, hey, tell us how you feel about him by all means. But the conversation with Tim Walz and Mayor Frey, Donald Trump gave a little insight into what he thought or how he thought it went.
Conversation with Governor Tim Walz. This man has suggested that this is a modern-day Gettysburg. He has likened his situation to Anne Frank in the Holocaust. He has said that ICE is your Gestapo army. And then you guys speak on the phone. I'm fascinated by that conversation.
The Anne Frank thing is ridiculous. He said Minnesotans are hiding in their basement like Anne Frank. Okay, dude. Okay.
Couldn't have been a nicer conversation. And in fact, I said to my people, I said, it's hard to believe that's the same guy I watch on television, or I watch in the debate not doing so well, or because we had a very reasonable conversation, very good conversation.
Did you hear the jab? It's hard to believe it's the same guy I watched on television, or, at the debate not doing very well. That was the debate where he said he was friends with school shooters. Remember that debate? I remember it.
Because we had a very reasonable conversation, very good conversation. If you believe the conversation, he'd like to get this thing over with. But think of it, in the whole country, we've done this so much. We have the crime down to a level that nobody ever, I campaigned a little bit on crime, a lot on the border. The problem is I gave you the best border in the history of our country. Nobody wants to talk about it anymore. I did it a long time ago. I was able.
He's right about the border. I mean, did they solve that problem almost too quickly? I don't know if there is a too quickly, but it's at the point now where it's not even a compelling talking point. It's just, yes, the border's secure. That was the biggest issue heading into 2024. Make no mistake about it. Everybody knows that. It's one of the issues that won him the presidency. That and the absolute dereliction of duty that we saw under the Biden administration. But Trump went on to say that Mayor Frey and Tim Walz have essentially been groveling to him.
And what they did to get down the cost, they made it shorter so it doesn't go to San Francisco.
You saw what he said, right? He's claiming victory in Minnesota, by the way. He has posted that you have retreated in Minnesota, Governor Gavin Newsom, and he is encouraging people to keep the pressure up.
See, I haven't heard that at all because it's just the opposite. I was called by the governor yesterday. I was called by the mayor yesterday. How do we do something? Please, how do we do something? I think it's bad for them. I don't think it's bad for us. I think it's bad for them.
Yeah, you'll have to see what
But it's not a question of retreat. We want safe cities. Yeah. Whether it's if we took a lot of the crime out of there. We want safe cities and states. We want a safe country. And again, we just got a report done by Democrats that the country is the safest ever recorded.
Will they celebrate that? Probably not. You see these criminals, these illegal aliens, these gang members, these rapists, these murderers, these child sodomizers. They're what the Democrats like to call neighbors. So they probably won't give them any credit for that. On the way, I want to bring you the reaction that Tim Walz had to the phone call with Donald Trump. He was talking with CNN's Anderson Cooper last night. Also, how did the protesters respond to Tim Walz cooperating with the Trump administration? Plus, we get Mayor Jacob Frey's take on the whole situation, and Tom Homan chimes in as well. A lot to get to, a little bit of time. 9:51. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. The last couple of days have been absolutely frigid. These cold temperatures aren't going anywhere anytime soon. How's your system been handling it? I mean, the extra stress on your system, you probably have a good idea now if it's performing the way it needs to be or if it needs a little help. If you fall in the latter category, call my friends at Busy Bee today. If you need a new HVAC system entirely, you can get 0% financing for 18 months, a complimentary UV light with any new system install, and a free 5-year labor upgrade. That's a $750 value. They're also happy to fix anything that needs to be repaired on your system, and you can get a free tune-up every winter if you're a Beehive Club member. All month long, you buy one Beehive Club membership, you get a free Beehive Club membership to give away to a friend, family member, neighbor. It's a great deal, something to take advantage of. If the heat's working great, you got no stress over there, but the plumbing is bothering you, same 0% financing applies, plus a free 50-gallon water heater with select repipes or $600 off if that doesn't apply. Busy Bee is in the business of saving you money and making sure that your systems are running at maximum peak efficiency. Give these guys a call today, 615-775-7833, 615-775-7833, or find them online, busybeehvac.com. I have changed my tune on FIFA. I'm excited. June 26th, there's a FIFA World Cup match in Seattle. This was designated as the Pride match. So it's going to be the gayest soccer game you've ever seen. And everybody was really excited about it. And it's in Seattle. So you can only imagine there's going to be like naked bicyclists and like a lot of penises. Way too many.
Yeah, more than none.
The teams that were selected to play in the super gay soccer game, Iran and Egypt.
No.
It's like this has to be a troll. Both of them have like in Iran, if you're gay, that's like jail for life, and I think that's them being like lenient.
More. Yeah.
And Egypt also has draconian anti-gay laws.
Yeah.
I've never been so excited for a soccer game.
Hey, this is Pastor Al. Join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
A newborn rescued from the extreme cold in Robertson County. Also, proof that cooperating with ICE can lead to good things for Americans. Those stories at 10 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. It is 9:57 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. And you can watch the show on a number of different platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, but the big ones, YouTube and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. Why on earth would you want to watch a radio show on your TV? Well, we have video elements for all the audio you hear. And then, I mean, listen, if you want to catch up with the show later, you can always rewatch it when you get home and fast forward through all the commercials. There's some benefits. A few bennies, you know.
And some of the pluses on our show is that Chris goes live during those commercials, so you don't have to skip through them.
We do.
He's just there.
We do. We like to hang out with you guys. I like to read the unhinged YouTube chat. Huge fan. Huge fan.
Huge fan, very unhinged.
We should just start reading like a YouTube comment out of context every day. So
we've had some good ones.
We've had some good ones. All right, so we were talking about Tom Homan. He's going into Minnesota. Greg Bovino is heading back to California. Is he going to retire soon? Is Kristi Noem going to get fired soon? I mean, these are conversations that apparently people are having behind the scenes. I'm not sure how serious they are. It does seem like Donald Trump has his full support behind Kristi Noem and Greg Bovino. But Tom Homan is moving into Minnesota. I think he's going to do a good job. He posted on X. If you're watching on Super Talk, you'll see the tweet. Tom Homan did. He said, "Today I met with Governor Walz, Mayor Frey, and top law enforcement officials to discuss the issues on the ground in Minnesota. We all agree that we need to support our law enforcement officers and get criminals off the street. While we don't agree on everything, these meetings were a productive starting point, and I look forward to more conversations with key stakeholders in the days ahead. President Trump has been clear. He wants American cities to be safe and secure for law-abiding residents, and they will be." I believe him. Tim Walz went on CNN. Anderson Cooper was interviewing him. He asked him about his conversation with Tom Homan. And you know what? You know what Tim Walz did? He actually semi-praised Tom Homan.
First of all, the meeting with Tom Homan, how did that go? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Tom Homan's a professional, which is a lot more than Bovino and Kristi Noem. But look, I think the thing we said is we're very clear about this, that we need these folks out of Minnesota, and we need justice.
Justice for who? Justice for who? I'll play you the rest of that clip from Tim Walz on the way. Plus, the backhand to Bovino and Noem. I think that they've done an excellent job, as good of a job as they can, when elected officials like Tim Walz are actively encouraging the leftist lunatics in the streets to impede and obstruct. I think Tom Homan is going to run into a lot of the same roadblocks that Noem and Bovino ran into. The difference is Tom Homan is built like a brick house, and he's going to run right through those walls. We'll play you more from Tim Walz on the way. Plus, how did Mayor Jacob Frey respond to the meeting? I got all that and more. Plus, Donald Trump in Iowa. Hang out with us. It's 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Robertson County first responders report saving a newborn who is struggling to breathe. Turns out the problem was hypothermia. The crews say they navigated treacherous roads to respond to the 911 call from the mom. They helped warm that 3-day-old baby up. They say he's doing better now. In a Facebook post, they say even mild hypothermia in newborns can be very dangerous. In a late-night phone call to ABC News, President Trump discussed what he plans for the de-escalation in Minneapolis.
Amid a shakeup in leadership in Minnesota, I asked the president what the American people can expect to be different with Border Czar Tom Homan now in charge instead of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The president suggested there would be a more relaxed approach. We've taken out the largest part of the bad, really bad people, the president said, adding, so we can start doing maybe a little bit more relaxed.
ABC's Rachel Scott aired. Now, the scenes from Minneapolis drastically different from the scenes of cooperation playing out in Memphis. There are benefits to that, according to Tennessee U.S. Senator Bill Haggerty.
All of the folks that were out there helping with the crime situation chipped in, and they're helping. Memphis is now secure from a weather standpoint, too. So cooperation is absolutely essential. This resistance stuff that Tim Walz was perpetuating, wound up getting people killed. He's putting people in danger.
Haggerty on Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis this morning. And just in case you haven't gotten enough of protest news, the organizers of the No Kings protest say they are planning the biggest ever protest. They're calling it No Kings 3. Organizers say they'll include their plans include coordinated protests nationwide with a flagship march planned in the Twin Cities. This will take place, by the way, on March 28th. That is the latest news. Your weather is ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 10:05 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, tune in, the FM dial. You can watch us, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. The big one's YouTube. Hit like, hit subscribe.
YouTube's the big one.
Yeah, Mason said there's an issue on the YouTube. People are having issues with the YouTube.
Yeah, people aren't getting notified when we go live. They're like, I subscribe, but I don't get the notifications when I go live.
Are you besmirching the YouTube chat?
No, it's just me if I was a subscriber.
That's how
or maybe
that's how our audience sounds.
No,
of course not. Of course not.
No, of course not. We have smart listeners.
Yes,
better listeners than me.
Better listeners.
I was just saying, if I was a listener,
you would be a terrible listener.
I'd be a terrible listener.
All right, so if you want to get notifications when we go live, you hit the little bell, right? You hit the bell.
Yeah, the little bell icon. It's got a little drop-down menu.
No, I mean, let's be honest. This audience is smart. You guys know when we go live. You know when my show starts at 9, or Mandis' show, or Murphy, or Benson. But the notifications do come in handy during extreme weather. We don't have it too often, but when we do, we jump on the YouTube stream. We provide radars. We provide just all the information that you need, whether it's tornadoes or snowstorms are a little different, but mainly tornadoes. We're there for you on YouTube. So hit like, hit subscribe, turn on that notification. We were talking about Tom Homan and Tim Walz. So Tom went down there yesterday. He puts out a nice tweet on social media. He doesn't roast Tim Walz. He doesn't roast Mayor Jacob Frey. He says we don't agree on everything, but we're going to work towards making Minnesota safer, because that's what we can all agree on, that we got to get these criminals off the streets. So they found a point where they can agree. It's nice. It's special. Tim Walz was asked about that conversation. He went on CNN last night with Anderson Cooper. This is his response to meeting with Tom Homan in its entirety.
First of all, the meeting with Tom Homan, how did that go? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Tom Homan's a professional, which is a lot more than Bovino and Kristi Noem. But look, I think the thing we said is we're very clear about this, that we need these folks out of Minnesota, and we need justice for Renee Good and for Alex, and those were things that we came with. I think the thing that I'm most concerned about is the tone was different. There was a tone shift. I wish it was because of the horrific, shooting that somebody saw some morality, but I think it's probably the press. But with that being said, I'm not interested in a more efficient Metro surge. I'm ready for them to get out of here, and I think that's where Minnesotans are talking about. So it was progress. Look, I never got a call from Bovino or Noem.
Never.
Nothing. No, nothing. When they're coming here, and Tom Homan landed last night, and he called me last night and asked if he could have a meeting, and he was there at 9:00. So, look, I think that's progress, but they started this fire, so we're not giving anybody credit for putting it out. But right now, what we need is a return to normalcy by these ICE agents out of here.
Okay, there's a lot to break down in that clip. So he loves Tom Homan, hates Kristi Noem and Greg Bovino. Got it. Putting that aside. He says that we started the fire. Conservatives started the fire. Did conservatives make you enact sanctuary city and sanctuary state policies that allowed the illegal alien criminals to be freed back into Gen Pop? No, that was you guys. Was it conservatives who looked the other way with the massive amounts of Somali fraud going on in Minnesota? No. Oh, weird. That was you guys. A lot of finger pointing here by Tim Walz, and not a lot of accountability. I hope that they had a moral change of heart after seeing people gunned down. I wish that you would stop enraging and inflaming these protesters, and I say with air quotes, with your rhetoric, because I think that's what's leading to the violence on the streets. You don't see this in states where they're cooperating with ICE officials. Tim Walz is an absolute goon. He is. Everybody knows it. And he bashes Bovino. He bashes Secretary Noem. Fun fact, President Trump has given Secretary Noem his full support, just so you know. Jury's still out on Bovino. I do think he's getting the short end of the stick. But on Secretary Noem, President Trump was talking about her yesterday.
Do you still have confidence in DHS Secretary Kristi Noem? You brought up the success at the border.
Look,
you do.
She was there with the border. Who closed up the border? She did, with Tom Homan, with the whole group. I mean, they closed up the border. The border is a tremendous success, one of the most secure borders in the entire world. We were a laughingstock 1.5 years ago for the whole world. The whole world laughed at us. I had friends that said, is that real? You know, they'd look at a picture. You've been down to the border. They'd look at a picture of the border with hundreds of thousands of people pouring in like it was water. And they said, is that really taken? They can't believe it. They think it's one of these crazy movies that they make. The border was horrible. It was horrible. You know, I did the border twice. First time I won, 2016, I won on the border. But that border was nothing, and I fixed it immediately. It was great. We had great years, and we had a great economy. We had the best economy in history in 2016, my first term. And we rebuilt the military, and we get the largest regulation cuts. We had the best job number. We had a great first term. This term seems to be blowing it away. I mean, the only thing we have is a Minnesota situation, and that is, I believe, easily resolved.
And it'll be easily resolved with Tom Homan at the helm. I think that's for sure. Kristi Noem getting the full support of the president. But you're seeing headlines, Republicans turning on Kristi Noem. What? You're kidding. And it's like, well, it's just the usual suspects. Axios has the headline, and it says, what's the headline? Republicans turn on Noem, demand resignation. And you go, oh my gosh, what Republicans are these? Well, it's Lisa Murkowski out of Alaska. Is she a Republican? Is she? Well, it's Tom Tillis out of North Carolina. Oh, he's a bit soft. He's a bit soft. And then it's a bunch of Democrats. Is that actually Republicans turning on Kristi Noem? Anger at Homeland Security Kristi Noem coursed throughout the Senate on Tuesday, especially among senators who voted to confirm her. Democrats disagreed on whether her departure would change the Trump administration's immigration policy, but Republicans, for the first time, broke ranks with the president on Secretary Noem. She should be out of a job, said Senator Tom Tillis, who voted to confirm Noem. It's funny hearing Republicans talk like this, because the Democrats will back their guy when he's sending text messages, threatening to kill Republican speakers' children. That's fine. Republicans, they tuck their tail at the slightest bit of discomfort. The optics war. Tom Tillis is running away. Lisa Murkowski said, I would not support her again. And I think it's probably time for her to step down. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Lisa. That's Republicans turning on Kristi Noem, just so you know. The usual suspects. The fake conservatives. Got it. Democrats are upset too, but we're not exactly shocked by that. You got Democrats out of New Hampshire. You got John Fetterman is saying that she's incompetent. I know we've gotten used to John Fetterman saying some base things, but he's still a Democrat at the end of the day. You got Tim Kaine, who doesn't want Kristi Noem there. I mean, so they got two Republicans. They run the headline, Republicans turning against Noem. It's not really. Not necessarily. But Tom Homan's there now, so we're moving on. Tom Homan is going to be leading the operation in Minnesota. How does Mayor Jacob Frey feel about that? Mayor Jacob Frey, he put out a lengthy tweet thread. I'll read it to you. Today, Chief O'Hara, wasn't that the Batman police chief? Chief O'Hara from like the 1960s Batman? Is that just me? I'm pretty sure it was Chief O'Hara.
Let me look it up.
So the less based version of Chief O'Hara, this guy's letting the jokers run free. Today, Chief O'Hara and I met with Border Czar Homan and had a productive conversation. I reiterated that my main ask is for Operation Metro Surge to end as quickly as possible. Public safety works best when it's built on community trust, not tactics that create fear or division. Who's creating the fear and the division? Again, this problem is only happening in blue hellhole sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. We see this kind of stuff in places like Minneapolis or a Los Angeles or maybe a Chicago, New York at times, but we don't see it in Memphis, Tennessee. We don't We don't see it in New Orleans, Louisiana. We definitely don't see it in Texas or Florida, where they're deporting, 10 times the number of illegal aliens that they're getting in Minnesota? And it's because of the cooperation. So when Mayor Frey says that we can't use tactics that create fear or division, I would say re-examine your own tactics, sir. He continues, I shared with Mr. Homan the serious negative impacts this operation has had on Minneapolis and surrounding communities, as well as the strain it has placed on our local police officers. I also made it clear that Minneapolis does not and will not enforce federal immigration laws, and that we will remain focused on keeping our neighbors and streets safe. City leaders will continue to stay in conversation with Mr. Homan and his team. So you're just saying you're not going to enforce federal immigration laws? That's it? We're so worried about the fear and the division. Also, screw the federal government. That's what we're going with? Donald Trump wasn't exactly impressed with the tweets from Mayor Jacob Frey, and he responded this morning on Truth Social. Donald Trump posting a tweet saying, surprisingly, Mayor Jacob Frey just stated that Minneapolis does not and will not enforce federal immigration law. This is after having a very good conversation with him. Could somebody in his inner sanctum please explain that this statement is a very serious violation of the law and that he's playing with fire? I mean, at what point do we say Insurrection Act now? I feel like it was a few weeks ago, to be perfectly honest with you. And I feel like maybe had the president invoked the Insurrection Act, the Alex Preddy situation over the weekend wouldn't have even happened. If he had pulled the Insurrection Act when it should have been pulled, does the Alex Preddy situation go down the way it went down? I don't think so. I don't think so. And we continue to see elected officials out of Minnesota, don't you know, inciting and inflaming with their rhetoric. Mayor Frey is playing with fire. And I hope he learns a lesson from this. You should be working with the federal government, enforcing federal law, but they're not. They're not. John Fetterman was talking about the sanctuary cities and sanctuary city policies, and he says we shouldn't have these anywhere, actually. You know, we mentioned Fetterman a moment ago. He was disparaging towards Kristi Noem, but he does still land on the truth every now and again. And when he's disparaging about Kristi Noem, I think he actually believes that. I don't think he's lying. But what he says here about sanctuary cities is 100% the truth.
Can I ask you, in 2016, when you were the lieutenant governor, you said that you believe sanctuary cities make everybody safer. Given that has been the administration's argument against what's happening in Minneapolis, do you still agree with that tonight? Is that still your position, that sanctuary cities make people safer?
I think at that time the dynamic has changed much differently, and the border has become more and more increasingly more difficult. So for me now, I think it's entirely appropriate to make the adjustments, and I do think at this point we should be turning over all the criminals that are in custody in all these jurisdictions.
I mean, that's just as simple as it can be. You arrest a guy for rape, instead of releasing him back into your community, you hold him because he has an ICE detainer. If a guy is arrested for raping kids, you hold him there until ICE can pick him up. Murder, gang members, yes, hold them. That's the bar. That's the floor. That's not even at peak efficiency. That's the floor. Fetterman's right. Kristi Noem isn't going anywhere. Republicans aren't turning on her. It's insanity. But at the same time, this insanity provides a distraction that the Democrats are relishing. And the distraction is taking your eyeballs off the fraud that's happened in Minnesota and focusing on the violence. And the violence that I feel like has been created by Democrat politicians. President Trump, yesterday, during his interview with Will Cain, said that the fraud in Minnesota could be closer to $80 billion when it's all said and done. Listen to this.
So in Minnesota, they think it's $19 billion. If they think it's $19 billion, triple it or quadruple it. And if we catch a lot of this fraud, and I felt it for a long time, but now we know what's happening. And the answer is, yeah, there will be accountability. It's one of the little problems. You know, I happen to think, and I've said it from the beginning, that a lot of what's going on with respect to Minneapolis, with what's happening with all the hoopla, is so people don't talk about.
You think it's a distraction?
I've said it from day one. It's a distraction because what you don't see is that we have hundreds of accountants from Todd and from all of the different people. We have hundreds of accountants going over everything that's happening, and we're finding fraud on top of fraud on top of fraud. And I think that they don't want that to happen. You're talking about $19 billion. Probably that's a minimal number. Now, you take that and you go to California. You think California is better? I would say California is worse. It's totally out of control. They don't know what they're doing out there.
No, and it looks like the California fraud is going to be reaching critical mass, and that's a story that's going to be really hitting the top of the stack very, very soon as more people are doing what Nick Shirley did, arming themselves with a smartphone and just going and knocking on doors and wondering what's happening. But we said it day one. While the Renee Nicole Good shooting was in progress, and we were covering it live on this show, I said, you know who's excited about this? It's Tim Walz, and it's Mayor Frey, and it's all these individuals that looked the other way or were complicit in the fraud in Minnesota. They're still using this as an opportunity to distract you from the fraud. Sounds like, though, according to President Trump, hundreds of accountants, nobody is letting the fraud go. It might not be dominating the headlines, but they're doing the work behind the scenes. It's 10:21. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at the Glock Store. Love the guys at the Glock Store. Love training down there. Love shopping down there. You'll love shopping down there, too. That Glock you got, it's old. It's getting a little dusty. You should really upgrade, and you should grab yourself one of the new Gen 6 Glocks. These are the ones with the new optic system, the RTF6 texturing, the enlarged beaver tail, the flat face trigger, the integrated thumb rest, a.k.a. the gas pedal. The list goes on and on and on. This is the most refined stock Glock ever produced. And, of course, the Glock Store got their hands on them. They got their first shipment of Gen 6 G17s, 19s, 45s in, and then they were gone. I mean, they were gone before they even got in the door because the Glock Store is letting you pre-order these bad boys. And when you pre-order one and mention that you heard it on the Chris Hand Show, you get a free magazine, an extra free magazine with the purchase of your new Gen 6 Glock. So here's what you do. Go down to the Glock Store, pick up one of them Gen 6s, and if you like what you see, feel, and shoot, place your pre-order. When you go to pick up the new Gen 6 Glock that you place an order for, say you heard it on the Chris Hand Show, you get a free extra magazine. It's that simple. As a thank you for listening to the show and for shopping at the Glock Store. This is a limited time offer and only from the Glock Store. Minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere, always open online, glockstore.com.
Coming up, a reason to have hope about the end of power outages. And voter rolls in one state are getting a big old trim. Those stories at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the spare room.
Spare room.
She's in the spare room still. Shout out to Joan. She's hustling. You sound good, though. You sound great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I kind of like working in my jammies.
The audience loves it too, Joan. The audience is big fans. Thank you, Joan. We'll be checking in with you with some headlines in about less than 4 minutes. I got a text here from 4963, and I'm very confused about the text, and I don't know if they were listening to this station or NPR. But they said, sometimes, Chris, we need to do more research. Tim is backing down. He's going to be under indictment. The police are getting involved now, and they are arresting. So stop effing saying the white flag. Sometimes I wonder whose side you're freaking on. So-called governor is capitulating because he knows he has to do exactly what Trump says or he will be in prison, and that may still happen. When did I say that the Trump administration was waving a white flag?
I didn't hear that at all.
Are you Van Gogh listening? To honor the late, great Uncle Phil, are you Van Gogh listening? Because I've not said once that the Trump administration has waved the white flag at all. They sent in Tom Homan. They took the pit bull off the leash. You understand that, right? I don't think that that the Trump administration is backing down. I also don't think that Tim Walz is backing down. And if you read the statements from Mayor Frey, I don't think he's backing down either. This fight is going to continue. And the Democrats will keep this fight going as long as they can because they want to distract from the fraud that's happening. They're not. I don't think the Trump administration's backing down. Backing down from what? I don't know. But you have an angry mob in Minnesota, and I will tell you this. They feel like they got a bit of a victory. They do. With Kristi Noem and Bovino out. But then they were very upset almost immediately after. And yesterday we had protesters storming Tim Walz's office because he said that he would work with President Trump. Fox News has the story. Agitators swarmed Tim Walz's office in Minnesota Capitol to demand immigrant justice. The protest comes amid a broader wave of demonstrations following recent fatal encounters involving federal immigration agents in Minneapolis, with activists calling for accountability and changes to enforcement policy. On Tuesday, around 200 agitators gathered outside Tim Walz's office inside the Capitol building, shouting, "ICE out now and do your job." I don't think that the Trump administration is backing down. And scenes like this is going to make the Democrats not want to back down. They can't lose their radical leftist support. But this is insane. The organizers said they plan to slowly march toward the governor's door at a peaceful pace. Agitators scream slogans like, "Whose house is this? Our house. What do we want? Change. When do we want it? Now. No one is illegal. Power to the people." They held signs that said "Justice for Good," featuring a photo of Renee Good. They held signs that said "ICE out of Minnesota." And they were upset because Tim Walz had the audacity to speak to President Trump on the phone and have a meeting with Tom Homan. That's why they were protesting Tim Walz yesterday. No, I don't think the Trump administration is backing down. I don't think that the Democrats are going to back down either. I think that this is still a fight. And while we have rotated out some of the players, the fight is going to continue. 615-737-9986. If you want to join the show, you can text in, you can call in, you can jump in the chat on YouTube or Rumble. We'll take some of your phone calls next. Hang out with us. It's 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. It is 10:30, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. We're really warm now, 26 degrees. Stefano's got the forecast right after the news. With thousands of Tennesseans still without power today, we're learning that about 1,000 linemen from Florida, Georgia, and some other states are in Tennessee to help get the lights back on. Tennessee Electric Co-op's Trent Scott saying there's a reason that other states send help to the volunteer states.
Tennessee co-ops have a reputation for being some of the first to respond when a call goes out for help. We routinely send crews to the coast following hurricanes and that kind of thing. And so we're calling in a lot of favors this week.
Yeah, he says so many other states were affected that the linemen on land arrived a little later than he had hoped. President Trump does a formal rollout of Trump accounts today, those savings accounts for babies.
President Trump and private sector investors, they're spending this all-day summit to formally launch Trump accounts. The day is expected to be educational, inspirational, with lots of big names in attendance. You have Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, of course, along with others like rapper Nicki Minaj, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who's expecting her second child, plus Cheryl Hines, Kevin O'Leary, Michael Dell, many other CEOs who have already pledged to match the government's initial contribution into these accounts.
That's Fox's Alexandria Hoff. And a big announcement regarding voter rolls. It comes from Tom Fitton at Judicial Watch today.
We received word from Oregon that after a Judicial Watch lawsuit was filed to clean up the rolls in Oregon, they removed 800,000 names.
Yeah, in that announcement, Fitton says previous lawsuits caused an additional 5 million dirty names, as he calls them, to be removed from voter rolls. That is the latest news. Stick around for the forecast next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Paul Winkler and Paul Winkler Inc. Yes, this is an endorsement commercial, but I also am a client of Paul's. I get paid to talk about it on the radio, but I don't get paid to be a client. We're a client because we trust Paul. We've been working with him for years, my wife and I, and there's a reason for that. When it comes to investing, Paul does things differently. Paul and his team have 10 offices across Middle Tennessee, and they don't work on commissions, period. That's huge. And this week, Paul's doing something I really like. It's called Back to Basics Week. It's for everyone. No matter your background, your experience, or how much money you're investing, the team over there are going to walk you through questions that most people should ask but usually don't, like the real difference between stocks and bonds, why financial experts so often disagree, and how ETFs are actually different from mutual funds. They'll talk about diversification, how many stocks it really takes, and then they'll break things down like gold, CDs, Bitcoin, real estate, what's an investment and what isn't. Paul's going to explain the two main investing philosophies advisors use, how to know which one your advisor's following, and the evidence behind each approach, and what choosing the wrong one could cost you. This is going to be a big deal. Back to Basics Weeks. Whether you already have a financial guy or you need a financial guy, you should listen to what Paul has to say because he can really break things down in a way that you can understand them. If you think you're paying more in fees than you should, you probably are. Paul's going to show you what's hiding beneath the surface. If you want clarity, you want confidence, you want a plan that actually makes sense, you go to paulwinkler.com. That's paulwinkler.com. 1037 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, and you can watch the show on YouTube and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit share. We appreciate you helping us grow the digital footprint of the radio station. You're welcome to join the show whenever you'd like, however you'd like. You can jump in those YouTube or Rumble chats. You can leave a comment. You can text us, 615-737-9986, or you can call into the show as well, 615-737-9986. Robert in Alabama has been holding for a minute, and I do appreciate you holding as long as you did, Robert. What do you got, man?
Oh, yeah, man. I have two things. The House, the fascist Democrats in the House, they said they were going to set this up for signal chat and all this to track ICE. That's a few months ago. And also, Trump sent, the nice people in to Minnesota. He sent the nice ones in to get the job done. Okay, so they ran into a lot of resistance and everything. So he got his backup in there, his meat grinder. And these people are sitting down there looking at Tom Homan, and he don't give a what they say, but he's telling them how that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And they're starting to agree with it.
Well, they have to. They have to at a certain point. And you're right. You're right on the signal chats. I mean, if you're looking at the names that are behind the signal chat in Minnesota, Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan is alleged to be one of the admins of the signal chat, which would mean the state of Minnesota is behind the protests, which would mean it's not organic at all. It is planned and coming from the very top.
Well, sure. It's coming from the House and the Senate on the Democrat side. They planned this. They told the public that they were planning it. And now it's coming to fruition,
Yeah, I hear you, man. And
I think Tom Homan's going to do the job. I think they're, you sitting there looking down the throat of a meat grinder instead of a nice person. They're going to sit there and look, and I think Tom Homan is the last chance they got before President Trump sends in the National Guard.
Yeah, I'm with you, man, and I'm excited to see what Tom Homan does out there 100%. Let's go to Eric in Lighthouse. What's up, Eric? How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
Good, man. What's going on?
Well, it's a twofold question on the heels of this gentleman, too, kind of dovetails together. First of all, from the law standpoint, is there a definitive difference in the law under the Constitution for, quote, freedom of speech and freedom of expression that separates it when you're being paid to do it and you're no longer, as you said in the last caller with him, organic? It's not organic.
Yeah, I mean, there's no laws currently on the books against paid protests. There's nothing like that. I think that if you were going to try and charge paid protesters, you'd probably have to go like some RICO way and crossing state lines and tag them in different locations causing mayhem. But I think that would be your best bet.
Well, what about the fact, like the gentleman just said, too, and the leaders that are, planning this, they're working. I'm sure there's money involved through George Soros and all of them as well. But those leaders, when they're doing this sort of thing and they're literally going against the government that is in charge at the time, not through the judicial process, but through just what I consider illegal, are there not laws that make it illegal for them to, say, have all of these ICE agents tracked? Are there not laws that when you have a governing body doing that would fall under more of like a coup?
I mean, I think that's where the Insurrection Act would need to come in, right? Because it sounds like you're describing an insurrection. It's not a resistance. It's an insurrection against the federal government, which I'm of the opinion that should have been done a couple weeks ago. And I think high-level Democrat officials should be arrested. That's just my personal opinion, and I wish that we would see it sooner. However, knowing the Trump administration, how they want to keep some of the peace, I don't have a lot of faith that that's going to happen.
I don't either, unfortunately. So ultimately, nothing will probably change because midterms are around the corner.
I mean, doesn't that suck? And we knew that this was going to come. Yep. And we got to get these deportation numbers up. Like, if we keep the pace that we had last year, we're never going to clear out this country of the 20 million that Joe Biden let in, let alone the millions upon millions that were here already. Are we looking at 40, 60 million illegal aliens? We have to. And I'm also, and I've said this a couple times, I'm tired of we got to go after the worst first talking point. It's like, yeah, that worked for the first year. Now it's everybody. Now it's everybody.
And they're not the ones they're not, sorry to interrupt you, they're not the ones coming out protesting primarily because they know when they're coming out to protest, there's a few dumb ones that's increasing their chances of being picked up sooner and identified. So it's mostly the American citizens that are doing this, and that's what's really maddening about all of it. But I appreciate what you're doing. I'm kind of grateful, even though we're slow with no roads in the back roads, how God will put this on us and allow us to forcibly have a little peace in our lives, whether we like it or not.
Amen, brother. I can't agree with that anymore. I had looking forward to the snowstorm and being kind of like locked down was the best. And I don't know if you got any little kids at home. I got 4 little kids, and it's like just to be able to hang out with them and be like, yep, Dad's not paying attention to anything except you guys. It's the best.
Yeah, they're older now. They're playing in the snow in their vehicles.
I love it.
And I'm from Detroit, too, so I grew up with the Snow Hills, Baldock Park Hill, and just the north to me was always something I treasured.
Yeah, man, I'm with you, Eric. Hey, I appreciate the call, and thank you for listening, sir. Hey, have a great rest of your day, too. Let's go to Jay in Clarksville. Wants to talk about Minnesota, don't you know? What's up, Jay?
Hey, not too much. Hey, something what the last callers have said about, if these guys are being paid to do that, shouldn't have to report that as income taxes. Maybe we need to get the IRS involved.
Yeah.
Making money to do something.
I'm with you. And I do believe that they're getting paid. I do believe that there's a lot of money changing hands. Hopefully we'll see some fruit from the investigations that the Trump administration say are going on behind the scenes. We'll see what happens. They say that they're going after the networks that are paying these protesters. The wheels of justice turn slowly. Hopefully that's what's happening, and they're not just waiting for us to forget what the topic is and move on to the next current thing. Let's go to Mr. Bill in Hendersonville. Wants to talk about the Ilhan Omar stunt. What's up, Mr. Bill?
Yeah, Chris, considering the fact that somebody got a leg up on you whenever they said Murphy's home studio is Murphy-Lago.
Yep.
Here's a power phrase for you regarding Omar's little stunt that she had arranged. Instead of, you said this morning, it doesn't pass the smell test, I would suggest it doesn't pass the Smollett test, as in the Jesse Smollett incident.
Yes. Yeah, well, I said it earlier. The only thing that was missing from this staged event was the man with the syringe squirting on Ilhan, yelling, "This is MAGA country."
And he should have thrown a Subway sandwich at her instead of spraying something to even further.
We've learned that that's actually not assault. That you're allowed to do that. That's not a big deal.
It's not assault. It's a salt and pepper.
Yeah, it's a fully auto meatball marinara. I'm with you. I appreciate the call, Mr. Bill. We did talk about the Ilhan Omar stuff earlier in the show. We kind of opened with that. I think it's important to rehash while we're here. Ilhan Omar, yesterday, she was doing a town hall event in Minnesota when a leftist, and I do say leftist, decided to squirt her with a syringe. If you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see the video and how it breaks down, okay? There's a point in the video where Ilhan glances up real quickly to look at the attacker who is conveniently positioned in the front row. And that's when she gets squirted. This is how it sounded last night at Ilhan Omar's town hall.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God! Oh my God! He sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing.
She needs a napkin. Somebody get her a napkin. Could be anything. That could be ricin. That could be. Do they got liquid anthrax? Who knows? It could be all sorts of just terrible things. Can I have a napkin, please? If you were actually squirted with some chemical in today's political climate, whether you're on the left or the right, and you don't know what you were squirted with, is your reaction going to be to ask for a napkin after you square up and raise your fist like you're going to take a swing at the guy? Of course not. Your reaction would be to run to the back, get that shirt off you immediately, figure out what that substance was, maybe consult a doctor or a chemical weapons expert, maybe have a few conversations, but Ilhan Omar says, no, the show must go on.
No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked.
No, we will continue this. Are not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. No, you don't know what.
Stunning and brave. Stunning and brave. I think that this whole situation was staged. I don't know how you can say that it wasn't staged. People have done some digging on the guy who squirted on Ilhan Omar. His name was Andy Kazmarczyk. It's Polish. But somebody did some digging on him. And if you look at members of Andy's family, Andy Kazmarczyk, I believe is how you pronounce it, Kazmarczyk, it's Polish. You look at his family, and he's got a lot of they, thems in the fam. It could mean nothing. Could mean everything. His own kids posting about Minnesota protests, hands off Minnesota, reject Pam Bondi's demands. The kids of this alleged attacker have the blue hair, the orange hair, the septum piercings. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe he is an angry guy, and he's mad at leftists for indoctrinating his children. Maybe there's a reasonable explanation behind all of this. Maybe that reasonable explanation is that Ilhan Omar understands that the ire of the Trump administration is fixated on her. They're wondering how she made so much money in just a year, being valued at, she was a thousandaire, now she's a millionaire. Maybe she knows that people are starting to look at that winery that was valued at $15,000 in 2023 and valued at $5 million in 2024, and she knows that people are doing the digs, and she needs to get the scent off the trail. She needs to be a victim, and then she needs to be able to say that you're doing this because she is Somali. Maybe. I don't buy it for a second though. And there's other angles of the video. I played the edited version for you on the radio, but if you're watching on the stream, there's an unedited version that I have in the background with sound off, where you can actually see her first reaction after getting squirted. After she gives this guy a look, she runs to him and she raises a hand like she's going to do something. There is no way that you would be attacked like that, and you would think, I'm going to take matters into my own hand and go after this attacker. Could be anything in that syringe. Could have been anything. Either she's that dumb or she thinks we're that dumb. 1050 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. You can find them online, painisbad.com. And when you get to the office, you're going to find a couple of people there, Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, that are going to get you back to a pain-free life without surgery, without painful injections, and without opioids. It is possible, and they're doing it in their own way. You see, the Wellness Institute of Nashville is the only office in Tennessee with a brand new machine called the HydroWave. This is going to stimulate stem cells for real cellular healing. No surgery, no needles, no opioids. Pair that with the non-surgical spinal and knee decompression. This is as advanced as it gets. These guys are using anti-gravity machines, robotic lasers, and they're going to take the time to review your MRI and explain what's happening and how to fix it. 2026 is the year you get back to a pain-free life. You do it with the Wellness Institute of Nashville. 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or find them online, painisbad.com. What's up? We are back live on the YouTube and Rumble and Facebook, Twitter, Twitch streams. Is anybody actually watching on Facebook or Twitter or Twitch, do you think? I mean, I know people watch on the Facebook, but it's not as much as the people that are watching on the YouTube stream. So hello. Welcome in. What are you guys doing for lunch? I see RC Hunter, you going to have some bananas and rice later? It's nothing is more American than bananas and rice. I'm reading your comments right now in the chat. Jenny Henney said, y'all, it would have been really funny if she would have pulled off her flip-flop and went after him with it. If you know, you know. That would have been pretty good. I bet you could do that with AI. I bet you could do that relatively quickly with AI. A lot of the memes online, have you seen that they say that she went to the Quality Acting Center and they spelled acting with a K? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. What are you guys doing in the chat? Banana and rice flavored holy water. We had some steak and grits. Grits are disgusting. I'm just going to go on the record, and I know this doesn't have anything to do with politics. It has nothing to do with pop culture. Grits are nasty, and I don't care who knows it. And even if you had grits for breakfast, you're one of the people that knows it. They're disgusting. Somebody once said, well, you got to try them with cheese. It's like, no, not doing it. No grits. I'll do the steak, though. I would have a ribeye right now. I would. I could go for an In-N-Out burger, too. I would. And I'm just digging through. What are you guys doing? Anybody got anything going on? Let's start reading some comments out of context. Let's see. Has anyone heard the ice quake around their house? Have you seen the ice quakes? I haven't heard them, but I've heard about them.
All right, we'll get
Ken's
you updated
news
on
music.
the work
We're
to
going to rejoin
restore
radio. We'll be
everyone's
back in a second.
electricity, and we'll let you hear from President Trump. He just rolled out some details on his new initiative called Trump Accounts. That's coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. And if you're watching on the YouTube stream, he's sporting a really nice tie today.
Yeah, what do you think about that, boys?
It's pretty good.
You know what's interesting about this is I have been considering going back to wearing slack shirts and ties every day again.
Consider it a sign.
That's what I'm saying.
Me and the wife were thrifting the other day. We didn't plan to, but you ever Ken, you've probably done this where you have 30 minutes to kill and you don't want to go home because you booked the babysitter and like that's the time allotted. So that's what me and the wife were doing. We were like, okay, we got 30 minutes. Like, no. But the babysitter is good until time X.
Yeah.
So we went into this thrift store, and the first thing I see is this tie that says Weaver all over it.
Yeah.
And my wife said, you got to get that for him. I said, you don't think that's going to be a little weird, do you?
Nothing's weird when it comes to me.
I was like, I don't know, buying another grown man clothes.
I think buying a tie is okay. When you start buying pants for your friends, that's where it gets a little weird.
Okay, well, I didn't get the Weaver pants.
Yeah.
But I got the Weaver tie. And my wife liked on the back, it says President. President
Does it
Weaver.
really?
Oh, yeah. Wow. It's a very presidential tie.
Who knows?
That's a slick tie, Ken.
What do you know about that?
It's got Weaver all over it.
Dude, I was so we were thrifting. I need to get some more suit coats.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's a good place to get them.
I cannot spend the money that people want to spend on suit coats.
Dude,
yeah, it's crazy.
Especially like I still got these little kids that their fingers always have something on them. So like inevitably my suit coats are covered in applesauce or slime. You know? So like I'm not paying hundreds of dollars for these things. So we go into the thrift store. There were all these suit jackets. Like even the lady at the front was like, wow, whoever put the tags on these had no idea what they had.
Oh, nice.
Exactly.
It's like, I know. Thank you. Thank you.
What thrift store? Just so I'm.
What's it? It's it's like American Thrift. It's over in the borough where Memorial crosses with. It's where that bargain hunt used to be in the Hardee's.
Oh, yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Over there close to the university?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
okay. I
know over there.
I know where that is.
It was a good little spot. Although we were walking through like the trinket aisle. I don't know what else to call it because it was just trinkets. And I'm like, man, somebody's grandmother really loved all this stuff. It's just like that's like the thought that crosses through my mind. And I feel really guilty as I like pass over the stuff. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Who would want that?
It's like they had a whole collection of this stuff and it just happened to get donated.
Yeah. Sorry, Mima. Let's see what coats Grandpa left behind.
My wife bought a purse one time. She couldn't believe it. It was a Louis Vuitton purse at a thrift store. I think she might have paid $5 for it.
Wow.
When she took it up there, man, the clerk said, "Did you get this here?" And she goes, yep. And she goes, you realize this is like a $600 purse.
Yeah. What?
And she said, yes, I do.
That's insane. Thrifting, man. It's a heck of a thing to do. All right. Hey, I've been sitting on this clip from Scott Jennings where he was going at it with some leftists. As they tend to do on the Abby Phillip show. Was it Abby Phillip or was it Aaron Burnett? It doesn't really matter. Nobody watches that network anyway. Scott Jennings was on, though, and he's the only guy worth watching on there. And they were arguing over the mob and who's bending the knee to the mob. Is it Tim Walz? Is it the Trump administration? I don't think that the Trump administration is bending the knee. I think that they are still going to go full force. And Scott Jennings agrees, and he says, guys, you have to keep going, because if you don't, you're letting the mob know that they won.
All these people.
Oh, hang on one second. I got too much audio running in the background. So embarrassing. I got Ilhan Omar getting squirted. Sorry. Don't worry, it's good now. That's what happened.
I know.
There's some guy was squirting all over Ilhan, and it was playing in the background.
Hate that word.
So I had to turn it off. Here's Scott Jennings.
I would just caution all these people. You cannot let an angry mob nullify federal law in a jurisdiction. If
you
they
mean
do that,
the American people?
Is
that what the angry mob is? The American people?
These people in Minneapolis are an angry mob, whether you like it or not. They don't like the fact that the president is enforcing long-standing federal immigration law.
Does that mean they should be shot on the street, Scott?
No.
I mean, what an absolute ridiculous. Does that mean they should be shot on the street, Scott? Is that what they mean? You mean the American people, Scott? Is that what you mean? No, we mean paid protesters and paid agitators. No, I don't want anybody to be shot on the street, actually. And they wouldn't have been if they weren't impeding and obstructing. Scott Jennings continues.
That's the question that we're talking about, right?
The debate is about what the president's going to do next. And if you were to let them win and you were to be run out of town, what do you think would happen in L.A., Chicago, New York, all over the country?
So you don't think what happened to Alex Frey was problematic? I mean,
do I think it's problematic? Of course it's problematic.
Okay, was it wrong?
Anytime someone
how far
dies,
are you willing to go?
anytime someone dies, it's problematic. But what they're asking for is for federal law enforcement to be sent out of town.
Is it wrong?
And that no federal laws be enforced.
Wrong? Was what happened to Alex Frey on the street wrong?
Was it wrong?
Was it wrong?
I'm waiting for an investigation, which I fully support. I don't know what the circumstances were.
If
I
there
don't
was a
like
Democratic president in the White House, would you be able to say it was wrong?
Would I want an investigation? Would I want Of course I would. I don't like that people have died. I don't like this chaos. But I also don't like the idea that we're just going to say, well, in this one little territory, we're not going to enforce federal laws anymore. That doesn't strike me as a good idea for the president right now. So he's got a tricky situation. It's very complex. But being run out of town by an angry mob, to me, is not an option.
Also, on the Alex Preddy front, they never bring up the fact that he had broken ribs because he was impeding and obstructing ICE officials just a week before. He got tackled, broke his rib, and then he shows up to impede and obstruct again, this time armed. I think it was a miracle that an ICE agent wasn't shot, just to be perfectly honest with you. This guy was unhinged as unhinged gets. I still don't think he should have died. I wish he hadn't. But if this is going to make the Trump administration pump the brakes, that's the wrong move. And I don't anticipate that that's what's going to happen at all. 11:01. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Drivers right now in Bellshire, we've got some road work. It is blocking the right lane of Briley Parkway eastbound before 24 North. Whites Creek road work, right lane blocked. Briley Parkway westbound before Brick Church Pike. And in Antioch, got a crash. Crossings Boulevard at Old Franklin Road. Governor Lee has signed an executive order that speeds up power restoration after last week's crippling ice storm. This lets TDOT crews clear debris on non-state roads, opening access for utility workers still trying to reach damaged lines. Still have more than 100,000 Middle Tennesseans without power. Robertson County first responders crediting quick action for saving a newborn suffering from hypothermia. Crews battled icy roads to reach the 3-day-old who had become listless and was barely breathing. And Tennessee's winter storm death toll has now risen to 8, according to the state health department. The fatalities span 7 counties, including 2 in Davidson County. President Trump just rolled out the new initiative called Trump Accounts, giving eligible newborns $1,000 government-backed deposit to jumpstart long-term savings.
And with every modest contribution, Trump Accounts should reach at least $50,000 in value by the time the child turns 18 and could be very substantially more than that.
Yeah, the money's invested in low-cost U.S. stock index funds and cannot be touched until the child turns 18. Parents can sign up using IRS Form 4547 ahead of full availability in July. And following the departure of President Trump's commander of Customs and Border Patrol out of Minneapolis, day one for the new leader kicked off yesterday with a series of meetings with local leaders as they attempt to calm the tensions there in the Twin Cities. ABC's Matt Rivers there in Minneapolis with the latest.
On his first day in charge of the federal operation here, Border Czar Tom Homan meeting with Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Homan sharing in a post on X, while we don't agree on everything, these meetings were a productive starting point.
Scenes from Minneapolis drastically different from the scenes of cooperation playing out in Memphis. There are benefits to that, according to Tennessee U.S. Senator Bill Hagerty.
All of the folks that were out there helping with the crime situation chipped in, and they're helping. Memphis is now secure from a weather standpoint, too. So cooperation is absolutely essential. This resistance stuff that Tim Walz was perpetuating, wound up getting people killed. He's putting people in danger.
Senator Hagerty on Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis this morning. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, TuneIn, the FM dial. You can watch us. Super Talk TV is up and running. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble. The YouTube chat has descended into chaos. I joined them during the commercial break, and I was like, what's up, everybody? And then they've turned on me. Have you seen that?
You did make a comment that I think turned the tides.
Okay. I might have made a comment. One of our friends said they had steak and grits for breakfast. And I made the innocent comment of saying grits are gross. Everybody knows it. And they are. They're disgusting.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. I understand Matt Murphy doesn't make taste a matter of fact, right? What's his line?
Something like that.
He doesn't make
That's
opinion a matter of taste a matter of fact or whatever.
Yeah, taste a matter of fact.
I do when it comes to grits.
What about what about if you put enough ketchup or sriracha sauce on it?
Ain't gonna help it.
Not gonna help
No,
it?
actually, it sounds less appealing.
I feel like just have eggs at that point.
Yeah. What are we doing? And then it's descended. Our friend Colton Maccabee's in the chat. Colton, famed J6er, great guy. He said now everybody's going to say Chris is not a Trump supporter because he doesn't like grits. It's true. It's true. I would denounce Trump before I eat grits. Ooh. And then other people are saying, well, Chris is Canadian. He just likes poutine.
Whew. I love that stuff, too.
Dude, 100% would have poutine over grits any day of the week.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows it.
Cheese, fries, and gravy over slimy mess on a plate.
Yep.
And it's got to be hot chicken poutine.
I'm still mad that they got rid of Party Foul.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best thing they had on the menu.
Oh, I missed it.
Everybody knows it. Everybody knows. I said his name too many times. Matt Murphy texted me. And he goes, I've been saying for 20 years nobody actually likes grits. They just like the crap that goes into grits. Thank you, Matt. I thought he was going to have an issue with me, but Matt Murphy was just co-signing that in this case, a matter of taste is a matter of fact. Grits are gross. They just are. They just are. And I don't care who knows it. All right, so enough of me pissing you off. Let's have some Democrats piss you off. Dude, there's so much stuff. I was watching last night, Abby Phillips' show. She had Kevin O'Leary on. She also had a leftist by the name of Tiffany Cross on the panel. And Tiffany Cross and Kevin O'Leary got into it because Tiffany is under the impression that grits are good. No, excuse me. Sorry. Wrong notes. She's under the impression that all ICE agents are white supremacists. And Kevin O'Leary is like, what are you? Are you on drugs? Are you feeling okay?
Concrete evidence.
You got to be careful. That's way
there was some supports. There was some
men and women serving the government.
We have seen white supremacist tattoos
risking their lives, serving the government.
Risking their lives, they're taking lives,
You're calling them Proud Boy militia. Did you say that?
Well, I did not call them Proud Boy militia, but I think it's disgraceful that you're sitting here. I'm actually not. But I think that there are white supremacist tattoos on their
white supremacist federal officers.
Yeah, white supremacist federal officers.
Like, where are you going with this? Why would you say that?
I'm going with my eyes, ears, and logic. There have been multiple ICE agents who have white supremacist
men and women working for the federal government, risking their lives, carrying out a mandate, and they're white supremacists?
Yes, and you're a member of a cult, so I don't expect you to have logic.
Whoa.
Okay. Yes, they're white supremacists, and you're a member of a cult. I actually think that one of the most egregious things that she said just got waxed over. When Kevin O'Leary says, yeah, they're going out there and they're risking their lives, and she eye rolls and goes, risking their lives? And it's like, yeah. Do you not remember the ambush at the Prairie Land ICE facility? Do you not remember the rooftop in Dallas? Yes, they are 100% risking their lives out there every single day, and we're grateful to these ICE agents and these CBP agents for doing so. This woman's insane. They're white supremacists. They have scary tattoos. Okay. All right. Is this the same thing as like Pete Hegseth having an Aryan Nation tattoo? Is that the same? The corporate wants to know, is there a difference between the tattoos? Okay. She wasn't done either. She also, Tiffany Cross, went on to say that Charlie Kirk was killed by a right-wing extremist. Oh, it's news to me. I was today years old when I found that out.
Hold on. I take your point, and I accept the data. I'm not saying it's exactly 50-50 equal, but let's also not forget Charlie Kirk was murdered. The president,
not by a left-wing extremist. That person espoused very right-wing extremists.
Look, if you look at the targets, if you look at people in office, there's
the right attacks the right.
People on, but there's Josh Shapiro, there's Melissa Horton, now there's Ilhan Omar on this side, there's Donald Trump on this side, there's Charlie Kirk on this side.
You're saying that, but those
I'm not saying it's exactly mathematically equal.
But it's not even analogous.
She's okay. So just for starters, Ellie Honig is speaking there. He's a former federal prosecutor. Okay. He's just assuming that Ilhan Omar was attacked by a right winger. Like, okay, you miss me with the BS. I mean, she went to the Quality Acting School, the Quality Acting Center, and that was his staged event. I'm convinced of it. There's not going to be much that's going to change my mind on that. She even gave him a little head nod when it was time to get to squirting. So, and then she squared up. She raised a fist. She stormed after him like, waiting for everybody to just stand up and applaud and say stunning and brave. So we're going to continue anyway. Like the only thing that she was missing from this staged moment was security holding her back and her raising her fist in the air and saying, "Let me get my shoes." On the Charlie Kirk front, no matter what you think about what happened to Charlie, I think this is one thing that the Candace bros and the sane portion of the audience can all agree, that it wasn't a right-wing extremist. There's no evidence of that. None. Except for a photoshopped picture that had been floating around of Tyler Robinson wearing a Trump shirt. You're insane. You understand this, right? He was dating a man who was transitioning. I don't know how that's right wing. But I digress. Even if you go full Candace, like nobody would believe that it was a right winger. What are we talking about here? Not the craziest thing that Democrats have said all week. In fact, this Democrat has a bit of clout. He's the esteemed district attorney from the city of Philadelphia, Larry Krasner. And Larry Krasner got out there, found a podium, and he says that we're going to be hunting these ICE agents down, and we're gonna put them on trial like the Nazis. Oh. This is Larry Krasner.
This is a small bunch of wannabe Nazis. That's what they are. In a country of 350 million, we outnumber them. If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identities. We will find you. We will achieve justice.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Larry. Here's the thing. He's not the only Democrat talking like this. Eric Swalwell has been talking a big game. Tim Walz has been talking a big game. There's been legislation introduced in several states that, if you were an ICE agent under Trump, you can't even work here in policing. It's insane. But it gives you a look into what the Democrats think about you and what they would do if they ever regain power. This is why midterms are so important. This is why we need to regain control of the House and Senate. We can't let these lunatics get power again, because what they're going to do is they're going to impeach everybody that they can from the Trump administration. They're going to do everything they can to impede and obstruct the Trump agenda, and they're going to do it with a smile on their face the entire time, and they tell you that that's what they're going to do. I saw another clip. New NYU Professor Scott Galloway wants Nuremberg trials, or the equivalent of in America, for the ICE agents after they're done serving under Donald Trump. And he's doing this interview, and even the lady with him, I think she's from the New York Times, is just nodding. She's like, wow, yeah, we do need that. We do.
What I'm suggesting is, and again, I've struggled with this my whole life, the difference between being right and being effective. And we're angry, and I get it, protesting is powerful. Promising them that there will be an accountability. And I've said this, I think there should be something equivalent to the Nuremberg trials after this is all over.
I agree.
And to make it clear that once we're back in power, which we will be, this is going to happen.
I agree. We need Nuremberg trials. Crimes against humanity. Oh, yes, I agree. This is nothing like that. Anybody with an actual bit of historical knowledge or just a head on their shoulders understands this is not Nazi Germany. It's not. Enforcing federal immigration laws that were put into place by Congress is not Nazi Germany. We're going to need the Nuremberg trials, though. We're going to have to hold these guys accountable. Remember, this is what they want to do to you. This is what they want to do to me. They would do this to every conservative if they had the opportunity to. They tell you what they want. This is the most honest that you'll see the Democrats. We have to track them down. We have to find them. We have to punish them. This is what happens if we don't win midterms. This is what happens if the Trump administration's agenda gets derailed by the Democrats. And what do they want to do with Trump? Well, I think we all know what they would like to do with Trump. Very few have the balls to admit it out loud, though. Stands for one Democrat candidate for Ohio Attorney General. His name is Elliot Forhan. He just comes right out and says it.
Hi, this is Elliot Forhan, candidate for Ohio Attorney General. I want to tell you what I mean when I say that I am going to kill Donald Trump.
This is a candidate for Attorney General in the state of Ohio, Elliot Forhan.
I mean, I'm going to obtain a conviction rendered by a jury of his peers at a standard of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, based on evidence presented at a trial conducted in accordance with the requirements of due process, resulting in a sentence duly executed of capital punishment. That is what I mean when I say that I'm going to kill Donald Trump.
The rhetoric is intensifying from the Democrats. Make no mistake about it, they would love to see President Trump dead. Hopefully his security is as top-notch as it needs to be. The Secret Service and the stories that come out of the Secret Service at times give me pause. But the Democrats are losing all of their available talking points. Remember when they used to talk about the economy? They haven't talked about that in a while. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Donald Trump made it his point to go on the campaign trail for the midterms yesterday. He went to Iowa, He went to Iowa. And the way he kicked things off, he's going to make Democrats like this candidate for Ohio AG very, very upset.
That was a quick one. After a rigged election, we had a rigged election. I said, do we do it again? And I said, I think we better do it again. Not too many people who would have said that. But we did so well the second time, I said, well, we won twice, we got to do it a third time. Should we do it a fourth time? Four victories.
Oh, and you can imagine the leftists hearing that. Just, ah! Hey, to every leftist out there, you understand that the Donald Trump presidency wouldn't be going on right now if he didn't steal 2020, right? Yeah, you know. And it enrages the leftist. It does. To the point where they're openly talking about killing Donald Trump now. To the point where they're openly demonizing everything that is conservative under the sun. And they're going to hold you accountable via Nuremberg trials should you aid and abet this Trump administration. Got it. On the way, I want to bring you some of the audio from that economic message that Trump delivered last night in Iowa. A lot to get to, only a little bit of time. 11:21. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at United Structural Systems, USS. I got a question. What does home mean to you? I mean, listen, it's where your family lives, where life happens. It's the center of everything. And at the center of that, you got to have a solid foundation that you can trust. And this is where USS comes in. If you got water threatening your home, trust matters, and you can trust United Structural Systems. January rain and the snow that melts eventually is going to expose weak spots fast. Water in a basement or crawl space can come from drainage issues, foundation cracks, hidden leaks, and guessing wrong can cost you thousands of dollars. USS doesn't do the guessing game. They don't do that. Their team's going to come out. They're experts. They're going to identify the source of the problem, then design a waterproofing plan tailored to your home. They're going to do it right the first time, and they're going to leave behind a lifetime warranty. They have served Middle Tennessee homeowners since 1994. They treat their customers like family, not numbers. These are the guys to call when you need to protect what matters most. United Structural Systems, 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, always online, USSTN.com.
All right, drivers, heads up for some road work. Got the left lane blocked in White House, 65 southbound at Bethel Road. Bellshire, right lane blocked, Briley Parkway eastbound before 24 north. And in Whites Creek, right lane blocked, Briley Parkway westbound before Brick Church Pike. Thousands across Tennessee remain without power, and Governor Lee has signed an executive order to help with restoration. And President Trump announces a new account for newborns. That's coming up at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. It is 11:26 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. The Democrats are telling you, they've been telling you for months that the economy is tanking. It's just 2 more weeks, and we're going to be hitting a recession. 2 more weeks after that, it'll be a depression. It's going to be terrible. We can't let the orange man get away with it, and we've been hearing it. We go, okay, when? Well, I saw a piece of news on CNN yesterday. It was alarming. They were discussing the economy.
Look at the facts of the economy. It is a booming economy. The latest report is almost 5.5% growth in the fourth quarter, which is an incredible number. We haven't seen that in recent memory. We've got gas prices down. Inflation is headed down to the 2% target. Median family income last year was up $2,500. Those are people in the exact middle, adjusted for inflation. I mean, I could go on and on with the positive elements of this.
Is this CNN? Is this this what news sounds like? Now, that was Stephen Moore, former Trump economic advisor, but they had him on, and they were talking about the economy in the lead up to the speech. One of the reasons that Donald Trump is on the campaign trail, make no mistake about it, it is a campaign trail, is because he needs to tout the wins of the administration so far this year, because we know damn well sure the mainstream media is not going to do it for us. And at least props to CNN for having Stephen Moore on. 5.5% GDP. That's what quarter four is looking like. It's going to be unbelievable. We haven't seen the fruit from the Trump economy yet. We've seen a lot of investments. We've seen a lot of seeds planted, but we haven't seen the fruit. And I think that we're going to start turning around and seeing that relatively quickly. But President Trump needs to make the case to the American people. And that's one of the reasons why he was in Iowa last night. And one of the things that he immediately did was highlight a massive John Deere investment that is coming. $70 million new factory. Again, does this stuff happen in a Biden economy? No, it never did. But it seems like it happens over and over and over again in a Trump economy.
The great American company that we just talked about is doing so much. I have to give it really. I buy so much equipment from so many of the people in the. We have a lot of very successful companies in here, but I know it's a very special deal because John Deere is doing $70 million in factory in North Carolina. It's brand new, the best in the world. And I think it's going to pay off very, very big. And if it doesn't, I have nothing to do with it. If it does, I'm going to take full credit. But what it is an excavator factory, as I understand it, and it's going to be the only excavator factory. In other words,
So Trump is touting the factory that's being brought to North Carolina, and hilariously says, if it doesn't work, it's not my fault. If it works, I'm taking all the credit. This is one of the things that he does so much better than a lot of these politicians, just acting human and goofing off and joking around. It's why these rallies are so successful and why I'm actually looking forward to another round of this in the lead up to midterms. We do need to get out there. We do need to pump up that energy, and Donald Trump is the guy for the job. One of the things that happened last night, though, during this rally, he got interrupted by a protester.
Of all U.S. trade.
They start chanting USA to drown out the protester. But it's what Trump says. It's hilarious.
You do know they're paid agitators, right? They're paid. They get paid. Do you ever see their signs? We used to have protests and you'd have guys making a sign in a basement. These are all paid agitators. That's all they are. They get paid to go and they don't even know when they interview them, why are you here? I don't know. They have no idea. They're paid insurrectionists, really, in some cases. They're sickos. But I've made new fair trade deals with countries.
I just love that he doesn't let the protesters shut him down. He calls out the protester for being paid. Everybody laughs, and nothing of value was lost. 11:30, Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$11:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, and we've got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Governor Bill Lee issuing a new executive order aimed at accelerating cleanup following Tennessee's severe ice storm. Executive Order 111 gives TDOT the authority to contract emergency crews and help clear local roads, not just state routes. Tennessee Health Department now confirms 8 weather-related deaths across the state. The victims in Cheatham, Crockett, Davidson, Haywood, Hickman, Knox, and Obion counties, 2 of those in Davidson County. And we've learned about the details. One woman died after falling at an assisted living facility, and a woman who slid down a hill in the Lindale-Wedgwood area died at the scene. Trump administration launching Trump accounts, providing every U.S. newborn between 2025 and 2028 a $1,000 federally funded investment account.
With slightly greater contributions, the typical account will grow to $100,000, $200,000, and can even grow up to past $300,000 per child.
Parents, employers, and charities can contribute up to $5,000 annually, with funds locked until adulthood. Private donors like Michael and Susan Dell adding millions to expand benefits for younger children in select zip codes. Treasury officials say sign-up begins through IRS filing this spring, with contributions opening mid-year. And today, the Federal Reserve set to announce what will happen to interest rates. Day 2 of their first meeting of 2026. The expectation is that interest rates will stay where they are, despite pressure from President Trump that they should be cut. Stephen Kays, a financial analyst with Bankrate, telling ABC News there may only be one rate cut this year.
I think that it's likely we're not going to see any cuts until the second quarter of this year. Whether that's April or June is going to depend on how the next few months go in terms of economic data.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Aaron Parker over at Parker Safes and Vaults. Have you been paying attention to the markets? We got gold and silver prices climbing. And if you're one of the people that are stacking those precious metals at home, I got to ask you, where are you putting them? Parker Safes and Vaults in Shelbyville carries real safes, including UL-rated TL and TR safes, tested and certified to resist tool and torch attacks. That's the kind of protection you want for firearms, cash, jewelry, precious metals, not a thin box from a big store. This is going to be a safe that Tom Cruise couldn't get into, and Aaron Parker knows it. Aaron Parker runs the business the old-fashioned way. It's veteran-owned. It's run on Christian values, family business. Aaron and his sons do everything. They answer their phones. They show up on time. They only sell products that they would trust in their own home. I mean, it sounds like that's the floor, but when you compare it to other businesses these days, these guys are going above and beyond. They deliver and service Nashville and all the surrounding areas. Shelbyville is where they're located, but that is not a different country. They can bring the safe to you. Call them today, 931-842-6445, 931-842-6445, or check out the inventory online. Go to parkersafes.com. It's 11:36 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We love those guys. You can listen to the show anywhere. iHeart, TuneIn, the FM dial. You can watch the show. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, YouTube. hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. And you're welcome to join the show any way you want. 615-737-9986. The YouTube chat's there. Text line is there. And the phone lines are available for you as well. I got one phone call I'm going to take before we jump into the lightning round. And I have one text that just came in that I need to read. It's a public service announcement from 5644. Chris, can you please tell the idiots who moved here from a different state to treat an intersection with no lights as a four-way stop sign? Thank you. Yeah. There it is. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Don't be an idiot.
Don't be a moron.
I mean, really, that's the floor. Just try not to be dumb.
It's the base level of human dignity.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Darren wants to talk real quick. Darren in Hickman, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Surviving the cold.
I hear you, man. What are your thoughts on today?
Kristi Noem. She went across the line. She needs to either resign or she needs to be fired or resign.
What did
she cross the line?
What did she do that crossed the line?
Saying that he was brandishing a gun.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I get the frustration there. He wasn't brandishing a gun. If you look at the slowed down videos, though, I mean, he was definitely disarmed, and then it looked like he was reaching to his waistband right before he was fired upon, Alex Preddy. I don't like all the pushback that we've gotten about firearms from conservatives. Not a huge fan, but I do. I mean, in the fog of war, when you're trying to get things, get the news and break things down. I don't know. I give her a mistake for a flub.
Yeah, he had the constitutional right to carry that gun. I understand that.
Yep.
But it's stupidity of taking it to a protest and getting in a police officer's or law enforcement's face. That's just plain stupid. There's no excuse for that.
So I'm with you 100%. But I would say, who made the bigger mistake? Was it Alex Preddy or was it Kristi Noem saying that he was brandishing a firearm? I mean, I think
for sure.
Yeah, well, and he was impeding and obstructing a week before and got his ribs broken, and then he showed up to impede and obstruct again, and this time he was armed. I mean, I don't think it's a stretch of the imagination to say that Alex Preddy was willing to fire upon ICE agents had he felt the need to. I mean, I think that is well within the realm of possibility.
Okay. Well, why not Noem coming up on the TV and saying, I made this statement in error and apologize about it, move on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. She might have already done that. I haven't seen her apologize for it, but
yeah, I've been in the dark, so
yeah,
I'm just going by hearsay now. I've been in the dark. I got a motel room last night because I got tired of the camping out.
I hear you, brother. Well, yeah. Hey, man, I hope your power gets turned back on soon, and I appreciate the call as always. 615-737-9986. I don't think Kristi Noem should resign. I think that's just ridiculous. Again, I think there's a fog of war type thing going on when you're trying to relay information and get information. And people say things, and then she ran with it. Yeah, it's a mistake. It's 100% a mistake. But I don't really feel there's a need for her to be fired or resign because of it. So there's that. Hey, do you know what time it is? It's time for the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
We do it every day at this time. We call it the lightning round. We get to all the stories that wouldn't fill up a whole segment, stories that we didn't have time to get to, stories that we feel are important and want to talk about. We call it the lightning round. Got a story for you here. First story, and we've done a lot of football this week. Granted, to be fair, most of it has revolved around dudes in dresses. So, let's say if we're going to do football, there better be a dude in a dress, right?
Let's go, Jerry. Go!
That's true. It's true. I got another Super Bowl story. You ready for this one? Super Bowl-bound Patriots and Seahawks are avoiding the 49ers training ground amid an ongoing investigation on the substation theory. Have you heard about the substation theory?
I have not.
So that they had put in a new substation near the electrical substation near the training facility for the San Francisco 49ers. And they're saying that all of that EMF frequency contributed to injuries this season.
Oh, interesting.
And, I mean, it went crazy on the internet. I believe the coach of San Francisco leaned into the theory. And now, since the Super Bowl is in San Francisco, you don't just have to deal with the poop and the needles. You also have to deal with the EMF. And neither of the teams want to practice at the 49ers facility.
That's wild.
Dude, it's nuts. It's nuts. Yahoo Sports has the story. According to NFL veteran analyst Chase Sr., the Patriots are set to hold their Super Bowl practices at Stanford University, while the Seahawks will prepare at San Jose State. Neither team will be using the 49ers practice facility in Santa Clara, despite staying in the Bay Area for the week leading up to kickoff. Yes, the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks have deliberately chosen to practice elsewhere. Their decision has gotten people talking, given the narrative surrounding the injury-ridden 49ers season. The Niners training facility has come under scrutiny in the past few months due to an intriguing theory. It centers around an electrical substation adjacent to the training complex and Levi Stadium. Known online as the substation theory, it suggests prolonged exposure to electromotive force, EMF, could be contributing to the team's long-standing injury problems. On the surface, the setup is practical as both teams get their own private space, minimal logistical overlap, tighter security, but the timing makes it hard not to connect it with the substation theory surrounding the Niners. While the idea originated on social media, it has been widely dismissed by medical professionals as unscientific. And what do we know about medical professionals and following the science? They always do it. They always do it. Always. So the medical professionals said, don't believe that. So obviously everybody's like, well, it's got to be real then, right?
You sure about that?
If the experts tell me to trust the science, I run the other way. Every single time. You should too. Just letting you know.
Obviously.
I didn't take that jab. Anyway. San Francisco General Manager John Lynch confirmed the organization is examining everything, including the substation theory, because it deals with the allegedly the health and safety of our players. I think you have to look into everything. So the experts are saying, there's no science here. And then the 49ers general manager is like, I'm going to look into this. Have to look into this. Lynch said, we've been reaching out to anyone and everyone to see, does a study exist other than a guy sticking an apparatus underneath the fence and coming up with a number that I have no idea what that means? That's what we know exists. We've heard that debunked, Lynch added. The investigation comes after a brutal year in which the 49ers lost stars like Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, George Kittle to season-ending injuries. They also led the league in adjusted salary cap value, lost 2 injured reserves. So when the 2 Super Bowl teams chose not to practice anywhere near the 49ers facility, it's natural to connect the dots, though no one has yet to do it publicly. However, it's important to look at the decision of the 2 teams objectively. The Patriots and the Seahawks decision are not unprecedented, nor are they necessarily linked to San Francisco's ongoing issues. In fact, the NFL has seen this done before. So that's there. I believe it's the substation theory. Everybody does. Everybody does, right? Of course. Have you ever... If you're buying a house, do you ever think about like those big substations and go, I wouldn't live near there?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like we all do it.
Yeah.
It's like, the backyard's great, but the cancer would put a damper on that. You know what I mean?
Just a little bit. Yeah, the school zone's great, but
tumors aren't.
Yeah, no.
We were looking at a house. We want to get more land. We want chickens, maybe a goat or 2. But everything's so expensive. So we found this piece of land, and it was really nice. Like the house was gorgeous, but it was a cell phone tower. It was like right there. Like you could throw a rock. Like if the cell phone tower fell, I felt like it would have hit the house. Probably wouldn't have. They had a drop zone. Said you were good. But it felt way too close. I don't know. I get wigged out by all that stuff. I don't know if you're in the same boat, but I definitely get wigged out by that stuff.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. West Virginia librarians. I didn't even know that they had books in West Virginia.
I don't know if they do either.
I'm just kidding. That's from my mother-in-law who's probably listening. Her whole family's from West Virginia.
Oh, nice.
They don't have books. Confirmed. West Virginia librarian. Let's look at it. Can you put her picture up on the screen? I want everybody to see her if you're watching on Super Talk TV because she's just downright dashing. Just the epitome of beauty. West Virginia librarian has been arrested. Oh, no. I don't like where this is going. She was arrested after allegedly posting videos online rallying people to assassinate President Trump. Morgan Morrow, 39, is accused of making terroristic threats after she used social media recruitment to pursue and assassinate President Trump, per the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. When you saddle up on the horse of stupidity, you have to be prepared for the ride that follows, Sheriff Ross Mellinger told 13 News. When you saddle up on the horse of stupidity. I don't think that the horse could support this woman. I'm just being honest. Police discovered the chilling threat on Sunday and traced it to Morrow, a Jackson County Public Library employee who allegedly posted on TikTok calling for the president's assassination, according to the criminal complaint. Morrow's TikTok was labeled, "Surely a sniper with a terminal illness can't be a big ask out of 343 million people," for the complaint. After reviewing her content and the surrounding context, police concluded the statement encouraged a vile call for the president's assassination. Investigators later confronted the librarian at her home, where she was arrested and taken into custody. In an interview with police, Morrow allegedly confessed that she wrote and posted the statement on TikTok, claiming it was intended as a threat directed toward President Trump, the outlet reported. Yep. She allegedly revealed her personal reasons for wishing harm upon the president to the police, though the complaint did not provide further details. While the librarian allegedly admitted to making the social media post, she claimed she had no intention of actually carrying out the threat. No. I mean, it was baked in the cake. She wanted somebody else to do it. She wanted a terminally ill sniper to do it. Police, however, said her statements could encourage, inspire, or entice others to carry out the threatened act, regardless of whether the speaker publicly intends to personally do so. We're just trying to do our part and making sure that it's not acted upon and that there's no one out there following her footsteps to carry out the plan, the sheriff told the outlet. Emphasizing that the arrest was not a political statement, but an active, troubling criminal investigation, the sheriff reiterated social media threats or posts of this nature will not be tolerated. It's okay to be critical of the government. It's okay to be critical of things you don't agree with. But when you start promoting violence and you're promoting a plan to carry out the violence and recruiting other people to carry out the plan for you, that's clearly crossing the line. Yep. Got a picture of her as she's booked into jail. She's got her little handcuffs on. She's wearing is that a skeleton sweater?
Yeah, it looks like a skeleton sweater.
She, however, does not look like a skeleton. No, she doesn't. Also, if she was going to post about things that she wasn't a fan of, vegetables probably would be safer.
That's a nasty one. That's nasty.
Which brings us to our next story in the lightning round. The CBS Maha Revolution is on. Are you ready for this? People are excited about this. CBS is hiring a lot of Maha-linked individuals for their new lineups. They're bringing on a lot of contributors. Post Millennial has the story, and I'm excited about this. I think people do need real health news, and they're saying CBS News goes Maha as Barry Weiss adds Andrew Huberman, Niall Ferguson, Chef Claire DeBoer, and Casey Lewis to contributor lineup. CBS News is set to add podcaster and Stanford professor Andrew Huberman as a contributor as part of a broader editorial shift under Barry Weiss, according to Axios. Weiss was expected to announce a roster of new contributors during an all-hands-on-deck meeting with staff on Tuesday, as she moves to reshape the struggling network following months of low ratings and internal criticism. Among the additions is Andrew Huberman, host of the widely followed Huberman Lab podcast, which focuses on health, fitness, and neuroscience, historian Niall Ferguson, New York chef Claire DeBoer, and youth culture journalist Casey Lewis were also named as additions. Huberman is a Stanford neurobiology professor, and he's built a massive audience online by promoting wellness-focused advice centered on diet, exercise, sleep, and hormone optimization. His following includes millions of subscribers across YouTube and social media, with many of his listeners aligning with the Maha movement. At CBS, Huberman is expected to join longtime contributor Mark Hyman, a close associate of RFK Jr., as a prominent advocate of Maha health policies. The change comes as CBS News continues to face scrutiny over its editorial direction, hoping that this move will bring some people back in. At least we know if you're looking for health news, you can probably trust CBS, or at least take it with less salt than doctors recommend when it comes to the other networks. 11:52. That does it for the lightning round. We got a lot more on the way. Chad Benson is in the building. He's going to let us know what's coming up on the Chad Benson Show when we get back on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's 11:57. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. In studio with Chad Benson. We were just talking
West Virginia?
Yeah, we were talking about West Virginia a little bit. But the news just came across the wire. 2 DHS agents suspended over deadly Minneapolis shooting of nurse Alex Preddy. They got to put it in the nurse. The agents have been placed on administrative leave amid an investigation into the shooting.
Don't you normally, if you, like cops, right? If there's a shooting, they normally are on desk duty or something like that while they figure something out.
It feels pretty standard, but they're going to run with the headline to make it seem like...
But they haven't done it before. See, that's just it. We really haven't any of this before where you found out anything because we move on so fast, right?
Yeah.
I mean, again, we're a day or two from now, we'll have attacked Iran or something else will happen, and then this will be
It'll be current thing.
Yeah. It's drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah, I mean, I think these guys will be back on the job. I think that guy put himself in the line of fire, literally. He didn't have to be there.
Well, no, but he has a right to be there.
That's fair. But he was there impeding and obstructing the week before, got himself a broken rib.
Again, he's allowed to be there. And the question's going to be...
But you're not allowed to impede and obstruct.
What was he impeding?
Well, he got in the way of the ICE agents, and they were dealing with 2 other lunatic leftists.
Yeah, but they were.
But he put himself directly in the middle.
They didn't take them into custody. They weren't taking them into custody. They were pushing them away.
They're clearing a scene, but
he went over to help her up.
He interjects himself right in that situation.
But he went over to help them up. He wasn't trying to stop them from taking somebody who's here illegally away.
But he did that a week earlier.
But did he do that? See, that's what you're hearing. I don't trust anything either side says at this moment in time because no offense.
I mean, but that was CNN that reported that. Yeah, that he broke his ribs impeding and obstructing a week earlier.
But I heard he wasn't impeding, obstructing. It was another situation where it gets out again.
So he just casually keeps showing up at these events.
Well, you're allowed
just coincidentally.
But you're allowed to show up, aren't you?
But he's in the Ice Watch chats. He's a member of the Ice Watch. His goal is to go out there and impede and obstruct.
Or to protest. What's the see to me impede if I'm impeding something.
If you're on the Ice Watch chats and you're tracking down these federal agents, like nothing good is going to come of that.
No, but here's my thing. Are you allowed to go to a protest? You're allowed to go protest. Now, if you're stopping people from being arrested for, that's a different story.
Which is what they said happened in the first instance. CNN said that a family was being apprehended, and he put himself in the middle of it. And then we see in this video that these women are being pushed back because they're trying to hold the line. And again, he puts himself in the middle of it. Yeah. If he was peacefully protesting, then none of this would have ever happened.
No, I look at it like, first of all, none of it should have happened. Some of these people are so freaking out of control, emotionally untethered to reality. The other side of it, I think he got way out of hand further than it should be. And then you had several people all screaming. Man, the chaos there, just watching it.
But I would argue that Alex Preddy is one of those people that is untethered from reality. There's reports that his own family members were telling him, leave the agents alone. Do not get in their way. Like, don't do this. And he's still out there running around he's Batman.
He had a right to be out there. It's like, he has a right. You don't have to like it. You don't have to think, a lot of...
No, but the right to be out there stops when you go in the middle of the enforcement operation as they're trying to hold the line. You absolutely have a right.
Holding those guys that pushed those ladies down and spraying mace. That wasn't holding a line. There was one guy and 2 guys up against 2 ladies, and I look at it and I think,
you're clearing the scene. I mean, but just because they're ladies, what happened to equal rights with the left? They're like, I'm just as good as any man.
Because we know that. But everybody's just as good until.
But they're screaming in their faces. They're doing all sorts of insane BS, and he goes to White Knight and be a hero, and he paid ultimately for it.
So basically, if you're impeding for real, they were never taking those women to jail. So you're just moving them. They weren't impeding. You were clearing it, but you were never taking them to jail. You weren't taking him to jail when they're screaming. They never told him he's under arrest. They never told him any of that stuff. So if he impeded the week before, he should have been arrested. Don't you think?
I think that what happened to him was because of his own actions.
And there's no action on the side of DHS or Border Patrol.
No, I'm absolutely cool with DHS and Border Patrol.
I just look at it, I'm thinking, well, I mean, obviously Trump's not, because Trump's looking at this going, okay, this is not a good situation.
And I don't like it. I don't like the cold feet from the administration. I want to double down and go even harder in Minnesota.
But the whole thing is, the harder you go and the more that people are uncomfortable, the more you're going to pay in November, and then you're going to spend the next 2 years being impeached and
if you bend the knee and you're like, okay, well, we're pulling back, we're getting out of Minnesota, then you tell the mob that they won. And that's not okay either. Because then it's going to be New York, and then it's going to be L.A., and then it's going to be Chicago.
Yeah, but they don't stay in these places very long. So you're not going to stay there forever. And they've already caught a vast majority of the people they were there for. That was the other thing.
So just wrap it up, close up shop in Minnesota?
No, ICE is still always there. You've got an ICE place there. You leave it there, but you're not going to surge 1,700 people. Now you're going to go somewhere else, right? They're going to Maine. They're going to a couple other places. You can't pull them all off from the border and elsewhere. You still have a limited amount of funds.
All right. Well, Chad's in next, and look forward to your take on all this stuff.